My beloved child, pause for a moment and sense in your spirit that you are exactly where you need to be right now. This message is not a distant echo, nor is it some generic encouragement meant for the crowd. It is my voice reaching specifically for your heart in this very moment. You may have wondered if I still speak, if I still see you, and if I still care for you as intimately as I did in ancient days. Let me assure you, you are not overlooked. There is more I wish to show you than you have yet imagined, truths that have quietly waited to be discovered by you alone. You have heard many words and promises before. I know that some left you warm for a while others cooled with disappointment. But listen closely now with your whole being, because missing my voice here would mean missing the light I intend to pour into the hidden hurting places of your life. The stakes are higher than you realize. For every word as end to you carries life, course correction, and new beginnings. If this is touching you right now, stop for a breath, say quietly, "I receive," or type "I receive" in the comments. Let that be your first step into what I'm about to unfold. This conversation is not like any other that has passed through your ears. It is my whisper, my breath, and my heart delivered privately to yours. That is the uniqueness I offer you now. Let me gather your cares as you sit with these words. Every sigh, every longing, every etch that you have carried quietly, I draw near to address. You have walked through shadows that felt endless, and you have questioned whether any meaning can emerge. From the pains and delays that trouble you, hear me gently. Nothing you have endured is wasted or lost. Not vent the smallest tear or the quietest prayer goes unnoticed. I collect them all, weaving them into a tapestry you don't yet see. If you perceive your life as a story with uncertain chapters, know that I am both the author and the companion, every page writing hope into the margins. There is a fragrance of newness beginning to rise, a subtle shift in the air around your daily life. Even now I am opening doors that no hand can shut. These are doors that will lead you not only into deep freedom, but into a true understanding of how I love you. Still I refine you, and in their finding I attend to every bruise and confusion, turning them into stepping stones toward wholeness. Allow my words to settle within you like Agent Lorraine. I see how you have sometimes measured your worth by your performance or your acceptance by others. When you fall short, shame has tried to bind your soul, whispering false verdicts about who you are. But listen to me, my arms are open wider than your failures. My embrace is not diminished by your struggles. My love, it does not stand at the finish line, waiting for you to earn approval. It greets you at your lowest, lifting your head and clothing you with dignity. Let it sink in that you are not merely tolerated, you are cherished. When you come to me messy and uncertain, I rejoice over you. Let me wash away the residue of regret and guilt that clings to you, and replace it with the assurance that you belong. You are not an outsider in my house. My grace makes room for your every flaw, and even more, it transforms you from within. Let yourself hope again. I know hope feels fragile. When disappointment has visited, too often like a delicate shoot pressing through cold ground, yet is I who plant hope, watering it with promises that cannot fail. Where you fear to dream, I stand beside you, coaxing your heart to open. Yes, there are uncertainties. Yes, the future seems unclear and sometimes threatening. But have you forgotten who crafts your days? I am present in each sunrise, and I linger long after nightfall. Your path is not arbitrary or left to chance. Every turn and every delay finds meaning in my hands. Even when you cannot sense my presence, I am orchestrating connections you cannot yet see, preparing blessings that surpass your asking. Trust not only in what I do, but in who I am for you. Consider the lilies, how they are clothed without toil, how they dance in sunlight they did not command. You who are far more precious are surrounded by my care every single day. Anxiety has chipped away at your peace, but offer your est. Trust is not an achievement. You muster it as a gift I want to cultivate in you. When fears press in like an army, let me hush them with the steady assurance that I will provide. I don't abandon my own. Every concern about your future, your provision, your relationships, place these into my hands and let me shoulder what you were never meant to carry alone. As you lean into me, faithfulness, peace will settle where worry once reigned. You may have wondered about your calling, your significance, and the unique imprint you are meant to leave. Vain this world, allow me to show you significance is not found in comparison or loud achievement. It is rooted in communion with me, in letting my purposes unfold through your surrender. Do not despise the small beginnings, the quiet acts of love and faithfulness that seem to escape notice. In the unseen places I am at work, and so are you. When you serve, when you forgive, when you choose mercy over resentment, these are the echoes of eternity reflected through your life. Your significance is measured by how my love shines in your ordinary days you don't know. To labor in vain, every act done in love, seen or unseen, becomes a seed for an abundant harvest, both in this life and in the one to come. I want to speak to your wounds now. Some scars are hidden, pressed beneath smiles and polite responses, while others remain raw, easily touched by circumstance or memory. Hear me clearly. I am not indifferent to your pain. I am the healer who draws near. I am unafraid of the mess and unhurried by the timeline of your recovery. Where others rushed you or failed to notice your hurting, I am gentle and patient. I do not minimize what ye have carried. Bring a change into my light event, those you feel ashamed to mention. My presence is a balm that soothes and restores. I mend what the world has fractured. I rebuild where dreams have crumbled. No bruises too deep for my restoring touch, and no loss falls outside of my redemption. As you expose these places to me, you will begin to sense warmth seeping into the coldest corners of your soul. Let us linger in forgiveness, for it is the gateway to freedom. Bitterness is a chain that saps joy and blinds you to beauty, but I offer the key, forgive not be. Because others deserve it, but because I have forgiven you freely and extravagantly. In releasing your grip on offense, you free yourself to receive more of my life. I know forgiveness can feel impossible, especially when wounds run deep, yet my grace will empower what your heart cannot do alone. Come to me when the burden feels too heavy. I will carry you through the process. If forgiveness is hard for you today, pause and speak this. I release this pain, I receive freedom. Say it once or write it. Let your mouth and hands join your heart in the step toward healing. Stories rewritten by forgiveness become testimonies of hope that heal others as well. You are not alone in your struggle. I walk each step with you. Listen again for my voice in the everyday rhythms, when you wake, when you labor, when you rest. I am not only found in sacred moments or special places. I am in the mundane, ready to meet you in the kitchen, the office, the street. Pause, breathe, and invite me into the smallest details of your day. The more you acknowledge me, the more you will discover that nothing is outside my care. I am interested in your laughter, and in your tears, in your aspirations, and in your smallest frustrations. Involve me and I will multiply your joy and give purpose to event the most ordinary tasks. In my companionship, every day becomes holy. Release your worries about what others think of you. The world constantly measures and critiques, but my measuring line is love. Nothing in noon can remove you from the safety of my embrace. Seek not validation from voices that are fickle or harsh. Find rest in my delight over you. In quietness and trust, you will become ensured, no longer tossed by opinions or trends. I rejoice when you are simply yourself, when you walk in the truth of who I made you to be. Let me remind you that your unique quirks and qualities are not mistakes. I designed every detail in the freedom of my acceptance. You will find strength to live boldly and to love without fear. For the moments where you feel unseen or overlooked, remember, I am the God who sees. You are never lost in the crowd or forgotten in the rush of life. My eyes are on you. My thoughts toward you are more numerous than the grains of sand. You matter deeply. I work in ret to open doors for you, to create opportunities, to orchestrate connections that align with my purposes. If you long for a prayer or someone to stand with you, the word pray in the comments or messages someone close to you now. and ask them to pray with you. Don't stay silent, reach out and let community carry you. Remain faithful in the small things. Nothing you do is ever wasted in my kingdom. When recognition remains elusive, let my smile be enough for you. Your worth is not determined by applause, but by my delight. Sometimes fears about the future loom larger than hope. Just you try to plan and control, but uncertainties multiply instead of receding. I invite you to shift your focus from anxiety to anticipation. With me, the future is not a threat, but a canvas for my faithfulness. You surrender your need for control. I will surprise you with pathways beyond your imagination. Trust that I'm weaving good from every challenge and setback, making all things work together for your ultimate good. Even your fears can become openings for deeper reliance on me. Where you are weak, I am strong. Where you are confused, I am wisdom. When relationships strain or fracture, come to me, easier peace. I know the pain of rejection, misunderstanding, and conflict. My heart aches with yours in every loss and disappointment. I teach you not just to survive relational pain, but to become a vessel of reconciliation. My spirit gives patience for the slow rebuilding of trust, resilience to love again, and humility to ask or offer forgiveness. Even where repair is not possible with others, I offer you peace that defies explanation, the assurance that you are always accepted, always welcome and always beloved in my presence. Let your wounds become wells of compassion for others who suffer. Find your identity not in relationships lost, but in a love that can never be taken from you. Let me remind you, I am your source. No lack, no adversity can separate you from my provision. The world tells you to grasp and strive, but I call you to receive. Open your hands and your heart. Every need you bring to me, I already know, and I delight in sustaining you. Sometimes my provision looks different than you expect, arriving in surprising forms or at unexpected times. Do not close your heart in disappointment when answers seem delayed. Trust my timing, trust my methods. Even in waiting, you are never neglected. I feed the birds and clothe the fields. I will do much more for you. Let your faith rest in my fatherly care and see how I fulfill your needs with tenderness and abundance. When sorrow visits, do not carry it alone. I am acquainted with your grief. I am present in your weeping. Every tear matters to me. Do not rush through your pain or pretend it does not exist. Invite me into your sorrow, and I will comfort you with a love that can withstand any storm. My comfort does not remove all questions, but it can course you through the hardest nights. You can lay your burdens at my feet, and I will bear them with you. In my arms you will find not only solace, but eventually the strength to sing again. Cherish the quiet moments we share. Thought the world clamors for your attention. I wait patiently for the times you draw near. In stillness, my voice becomes clearer. Do not feel pressured to perform in prayer. Come honestly with whatever words or silence you possess. I am never bored or distracted. I delight in your presence. As you learn to listen, you will hear my whispers of encouragement, correction, and hope. I guide you step by step, and my voice becomes a lamp for your path. Even when I seem silent, I am shaping your spirit, preparing you for things you cannot yet see. As you walk through seasons of uncertainty, remember that my guidance is sure. You may fear taking wrong steps or missing my will, but do not be paralyzed by uncertainty. I am able to redirect you gently, even if you falter. My desire is not to confuse you, but to lead you into the fullness of life. When you do not know what to do, seek me, and I will align your desires with my purposes. Do not despise small nudges or quiet promptings. My guidance of 10 comes in subtle ways. Be patient, for sometimes I work through unanswered questions, using them to draw you closer to me. I am with you in every crossroads, and I rejoice to reveal my faithfulness as you trust me one step at a time. Let your faith be resilient, not dependent on motion or external confirmation. There will be days when you feel my presence powerfully, and others when I seem far away. In both, remain constant. Your faith is precious to me, more valuable than gold. I honor every act of trust, especially when your heart feels unsure. Do not measure spiritual progress by feeling alone. Faith grows in the soil, of perseverance. It shows your willingness to believe, even through questions and trials. I am never offended by your doubts. Bring them to me and watch how I turn them into invitations for deeper trust. In every season, I am working for your good, whether or not you can see it now. Celebrate every small victory. Progress in your journey may be slow and uneven, but I rejoice in every step you take toward me. Do not despise the days of imperfect faith or faltering obedience. I am patient with your process. My work in you is ongoing, unfolding with precision and care. Do not shame you for setbacks. I celebrate your resilience and your desire to keep moving forward. No effort to seek me is wasted. Every prayer, every act of love, every moment of surrender builds a foundation for a life rooted in hope. Let your heart beat peace, knowing I am more committed to your growth than you can comprehend. Let me fill you with courage. Life will present challenges that seem beyond your strength, but I am your shield and your helper. Do not fear what lies ahead, for I am already there preparing the way. When anxiety rises, turn to me. I will infuse you with strength and wisdom. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward with trust in me. As you face difficulties, remember you do not battle alone. My power is made perfect in your weakness, and my grace is sufficient for every trial. Lean into me presence and let my peace guard your heart. In me you are safe. Choose joy, my dear one. Joy is not dependent on circumstances. It is a gift you've rooted in my love and faithfulness. You can rejoice even in hard times, knowing that my goodness does not change. Joy will sustain you, give you strength to endure, and make you a beacon of hope to those around you. Nurture a thankful heart. Count your blessings and let gratitude open your eyes to my activity in your life. Even in the storms, there is beauty to be found. Let my joy heal old wounds and fill you with fresh vision for the future. Never doubt your place in my family. You belong. No mistake, no failure can erase your identity as my beloved. When loneliness whispers lies, recall that nothing can separate you from my love. You are chosen, adopted, and forever welcomed in my embrace. Let this assurance empower you to embrace others with the same love and acceptance you have received. My family is diverse and imperfect, yet it is the carrier of my presence in the world. Find encouragement in community and be willing to both give and receive support. I delight in your connections and celebrate every act of unity and love. Fix your gaze upon hope, for hope is the anchor that secures your soul. When disappointment tries to dim your vision, recall my promises. I am faithful and my word never fails. What I have spoken over your life will come to pass, even when the path seems impossible. Wait patiently, not with resignation, but with expectancy. Allow hope to keep your spirit alive, to draw you forward, and to shape your prayers with boldness. My future for you is filled with hope, peace, and joy. Trust that the best is still to come, and let your confidence in me give you courage to take new steps of faith in every circumstance. Remember, I am with you. My presence is the greatest gift to give. There is nothing you will face alone. When fear, shame, or uncertainty threatens to overwhelm you, return to the truth of my nearness. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are secure in my love, held close and cherished always. Let this reality shape your responses to every challenge and opportunity. Invite me into every part of your life and watch as it transform even the most difficult situations into testimonies of my goodness. I am yours and you are mine, now and forever. Amen. Return to me now. Bring your heart, your worries, your hopes. Let me fill you with life. For today I have called you to begin again with me. You find yourself in a moment that feels both ordinary and sacred, as if the world you walk through daily has been imbued with a quiet hush, preparing your heart to receive a truth meant just for you. I have watched the pathways you've taken, every winding detour, every hopeful sprint. Even your restless questions are like music to me, the sound of a soul longing for light in the morning. The same soul lovingly knit together before your first breath. There is no distance now between us, no barrier that you must traverse alone, for I am closer than every anxious thought and every pulse of your heart. With each word you eat, I invite you deeper into my presence, where you are neither overlooked nor misunderstood, but cherished and noticed by me. The one who called the sun to our eyes knows the exact number of tears you have ever shed. My holding of you is not based on cold bargains or your effort to impress me. I welcome you as you are, for I see exactly who you are when no one else is watching. When disappointment or failure clings to you, let my gaze reach beneath your surface. You see what shame never can, the goodness that exists in you, because I have placed it there. I whisper to your spirit, urging you to realize that I am not measuring your worth by what you accomplish, but delighting in who you are becoming with every small act of courage, every whisper of faith that even dares to hope again. Trust this journey, for I am the safest destination and the faithful companion who knows every secret of you. Or soul, in these secret moments when you wonder if your prayers reach me, know that I not only hear but hold each one spoken and unspoken. Your sighs, your longing glance heavenward have never been lost to the void. If you could see how deeply I care for each word, how eagerly I wait to respond out of love instead of duty, you would not doubt your significance in my heart. I do not require perfection, only honesty. Even the each of your longing invites me closer. I am not impatient with your questions. Instead, I find them precious signs that your heart is opening, making space for the newness I long to give you. Sometimes the world demands that you hide your weakness, that you armor yourself against pain and hope alike. With me, you need no mask. Is you as a beloved child who can approach me boldly, assured that my affection is not conditional or temporary. When you feel fragile or unworthy, I remain unfazed. My acceptance surrounds you, steadfast as the mountains if formed. When guilt or regret tempts you to close your heart, I gently remind you that I am the one who writes stories and brings newness from even the deep. Wounds, with every regret you place in my hands, I weave greater beauty than you dare imagine. If the road behind holds mistakes that trouble you, press no further into regret. My memory is not chained to your failures, but to the goodness I always intended for you. I am not folding your past against you. Instead, I am freeing you to live fully in the light of this present moment. With every new dawn comes a fresh invitation to walk in hope. You are not meant to carry old burdens. Bring them to me, for I am gentle with your story, never dismissing what you find heavy. In my presence, condemnation gives way to healing. Shame is transformed into resilient joy. When your heart aches with loneliness or rejection, remember that no earthly relationship can your value or quench the vast love I have for you. My love is not a passing feeling, but an unbreakable shelter that endures every storm. There is room for you, unhurried and unjudged in my embrace. Allow yourself to rest in this love that does not fluctuate with circumstances or the opinions of others. Even now, I am at work within you, shaping a deeper capacity for peace and belonging. The places where you feel most unseen are often where I am closest, quietly speaking worth to every hidden corner of your soul. You might have given yourself many names, too much, too little, too broken. And let them stick to your spirit, but I call you beloved, I call you chosen, no from the world or shadow of your past can erase at the identity I give you. Your life has significance not because of accolades or applause, but because I declare you precious and worthy. The longing to be known and accepted, which stirs behind every striving and sorrow, is a holy echo of my original design in you. Only my love fills that ache completely, if fear threatens to silence your hope. Remember that I am not far away, watching passively as you struggle, is stand at your side. Unmoved by your fear, unafraid of your doubts, my strength is not diminished by your weakness. If anything, I delight to draw near when you feel most helpless. Lean on me and find rest for your weary soul. I will not push you beyond what you can bear. Rather, I gently lead you into places of safety where your spirit can breathe and your trust can grow again, one step at a time. When you wonder if you have purpose, trust that I have designed you with intention. Each day holds meaning when you walk with me. There are now astid seasons, even the ones that seem dry or rutteral, Why confusing? I am working beneath the surface, nurturing seeds of hope and courage you didn't know existed. If you feel stalled or lost, be patient with yourself, for I'm never in a hurry. My schedule is shaped by love, not pressure or deadlines. Let your soul rest in this truth. You are exactly where you need to be, and I will never abandon you in the in-between. I am drawing you with cords of kindness, gently inviting you away from anxious striving and toward the rest you were made for. All I ask is your willingness. I do not demand grand gestures. It is your surrender. Arid heart that brings me the greatest joy. In the quiet yielding of your spirit, there is a partnership in which my power meets your frailty and creates something beautiful and enduring. In every ordinary day, opportunities arise for you to love and beloved, to experience my companionship in the little moments. Even your laughter and your tears are precious to me. Whenever doubts arise, question them in my presence. Let me reclaim the narrative of your life from cycles of fear and self-accusation. I am the rock beneath your feet. When everything else feels unstable, when sorrow lingers longer than you expected, remember that I am the healer who understands grief and promises comfort. I will not rush you through your pain, but stay with you until healing springs up anew. In my nearness, despair cannot take root. Only hope that flourishes as you trust me just a little more day by day. You have begun to sense how my nearness is not dependent on outward circumstance or your performance. For I have already reached out to draw you close by the work I have done for you and in you. But even now your heart wonders how such deep belonging can be true when the world around you speaks often of division, scarcity, and striving. The noise of those voices can unsettle your soul. Yet I invite you to enter quietness with me, not out of obligation, but because I delight in you, even when silence unsettles you. Learn to recognize me in the hush within. For me voice is gentle, never demanding, speaking peace into your fears, and illuminating the path ahead one step at a time. Do not measure my presence by your feelings alone, for emotions are a fleeting mist that the sun of my love can burn away. Remember how I've walked quietly beside you in forgotten moments, whispered wisdom to protect you even when you doubted your worth, and provided for you in ways that no eye but mine could see. As I lead you further into the heart of this message, know that the world's harshness is not the language I speak. I am the cultivator of gardens in every desert place. When you look at parts of your life that seem barren, trust that underneath the surface, my hand is preparing fertile ground. The processes I use are not always quick, but they are always kind. Each disappointment has not been empty. It is a furrow in the soil where I am sowing something eternal. When you feel unseen or misunderstood, know that your life is transparent before me. Nothing escapes my notice or care. There are purposes woven through your days that no human could ever untangle, but I unfold them gently in my timing. What appears to be delay is never neglect from me. I am investing layers of grace into your being, because you are worth more than you realize. Let your soul relax into my reliability. Release the inner burden. You carry the weight of expectations, regrets, and comparisons into me hands. Allow me to hold those jagged pieces to shape them with compassion, turning what once brought pain into testimony. I do not waste any fragment. Fire experience, each has become a stroke in the work of beauty. I am painting on the canvas of your existence. When you offer me the mundane things, I take delight in them, transforming the ordinary into avenues where my presence can break through. Every daily act done with eyes toward me becomes sacred. Adish Washidin love, a word spoken in kindness, a moment of patient endurance. All of these resound in my heart as worship. You long for direction, assurance that your steps are aligning with my design, and I heard that yearning before you even speak it. In moment, T-soft decision, when confusion clouds your vision and uncertainty tries to claim your peace, let my counsel calm your restless mind. My guidance is never a riddle to torment you, but a companionable presence to steady you. Sometimes my answers emerge softly, more like a dawning sense of assurance than a thunderous voice. Other times I close doors to spare you harm or heartache that your eyes could not foresee. Each no from me is as much an act of love as each yes. Trust that as you walk sincerely with me, the intricacies of your story are not dependent on perfect choices, but on my unwavering commitment to complete what I began in you. My sovereignty weaves through your willing, your resisting, your waiting, and your moving. Notice how even now I am awakening you to the beauty in places you once hurried past. The sunrise you glimpsed in passing, the laughter of children, the forgiveness you extended. These too are places where I dwell. Life with me is not measured by monumental leaps, but by faithful steps in quiet. Mercies received or given when you stumble, do not hide or shrink back. Let me lift you and remind you that falling is not failure, but part of growing stronger. Shame no longer has any hold when you choose to bring it before my gaze, for I respond with mercy rather than condemnation. I do not define you by your past or by the opinions of others, but by the love I've set up on you. My definition of your worth is complete, not dependent on shifting seasons or successes. Receive the truth that you are appointed, valued, and seen, even if others have overlooked or misunderstood you. I am adept at taking overlooked people and raising them to fulfill beautiful purposes. The world may measure greatness by visible achievement or loud recognition, but I celebrate what is done quietly from the heart, away from applause. The smallest offer of love, the quietest act of perseverance, is never wasted with me. When you wonder if the little you can give you always enough, remember that I multiplied loaves and fish to feed a multitude. Likewise, I use what you're least to me, however small, to nourish many in ways you may not realize until eternity. Stay open to the wonder woven into your ordinary days. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Resist the temptation to compare your journey with others, for I walk uniquely with every one of my children. Their path is not your template, your path is not theirs. I am the good shepherd who knows each of my sheep by name, leading them safely, sometimes by different roads, but always with loving intent. The rhythms of your life, work, rest, laughter, tears, are the settings where I desire to dwell with you, shaping you by my nearness. As you surrender your need for control, space opens for me to reveal treasures hidden in unexpected places. Do not be afraid of weakness or limits, for these draw my strength most clearly into view. Let them gently rise within you, not as a fragile wish, but as an anchor for your soul tethered to my faithfulness. When you feel adrift, recall how dependable I have been across the landscape of your life in ways both grand and subtle. My promises are not decorative words, they are seeds that yield a harvest, sometimes slowly but never void. Speak honestly to me, even about your doubts and fears, for I never turn away the questions of an open heart. My compassion is vast enough to encompassive airy uncertainty. My wisdom is precise enough to bring clarity amid confusion. I delight in dialoguing with you, not just in moments of stillness, but as you move through your day. Think of my presence as breath, essential, sustaining, always with you. You are not required to prove your love or strive for approval, for I've already chosen you. I invite you to relate to me as a beloved child, free to run to me in every circumstance. When trouble arises, don't hesitate to call out. My response is not reluctant, for I am more eager to embrace you than you are to seek me. Trust that as you open yourself to learning from me, I will equip you with everything you need for what lies ahead. I don't ask you to walk alone, nor do I delight in watching you struggle in isolation. My desire is to companion you through every season, to gently reshape your longing into steadfast hope, and to transform your sorrow into unshakable joy. Let me remind you that I have not forgotten even a single tear you have shed in secret. Every longing sigh, every restless night, every anxious question, each has been heard and cherished in my heart. In these moments, when you feel overlooked, know that you are seen by the one who knows you fully. I am never distant, never preoccupied or wary of your voice. You were created for connection, not for isolation or self-sufficiency, and I invite you into a shelter where you can rope every mask and all pretense. As the world urges you to strive and prove your worth, my embrace calls you to rest in the certainty of my delight for you. You confuse busyness for progress, performance for acceptance, and you often carry burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. Trust me enough to lay them down, to let me lighten your load and give you the peace your soul itches for. If someone you know needs this reminder today, share this with them. Send this message, tag them, or read it aloud to someone who needs to hear they are beloved. In your journey, as how you reach for answers and try to decipher your circumstances, searching for mean patterns and omens. But I want you to know that my guidance is more intimate than you imagine. I whisper in the quiet of your being, leading you with small nudges and open doors that none else can see. Sometimes my direction is gentle, subtle as the shift of a breeze. Because I desire your trust more than your certainty, I want you to recognize my presence not through dramatic signs alone, but in the steady warmth that fills you when you choose kindness, in the calm that descends when you surrender fear, in the hope that rises when you dare to believe again. My voice is not lost in the chaos around you. It often abides in the silent. See when you draw near and listen, don't despise the quiet, the ordinary routines of your days. For there I am weaving beauty, strength, and meaning through it all. Let your heart surrender to learning, not learning based on accumulating knowledge, but on opening yourself to transformation. Growth with me is not a competition nor a ladder to ascend. It is the unfolding of who you truly are beneath all the layers you have put on to survive. I lovingly strip away what is false, not to expose you to shame, but to restore the radiance I placed within you long ago. When disappointment writes its stories across your memory, and shame whispers that you are not enough, remember that I have called you by name and declare you beloved. My grace is not a transaction or a badge earned. It is a gift that keeps rewriting your narrative, whispering new possibilities into your tomorrow. If you choose to see yourself as you will find new power to forgive, to risk, and to begin again, even after failure. You often try to define your value and identity by comparing yourself with those around you, measuring your journey against her milestones and victories. Beloved, comparison is an unwelcome guest that saps your joy and obscures my unique work in your life. I have not called you to walk someone else's path or to embrace their seasons as your own. What I am building in you cannot be replicated or rushed. It unfolds in its own rhythm, sanctified by my wisdom. Your story matters deeply, and every chapter counts, even those that feels low, unseen, or unfinished. I love you not for your achievements, but for the simple fact of who you are to me. If only you could glimpse the joy in my heart when you turn to him, not with polished words or impressive prayers, but simply as yourself, raw, honest, seeking, facing your fears to holy ground. It is there, when your insecurities roar and your doubts threaten, that I draw closest, not to accuse but to reassure. I do not expect perfection. I invite honesty, openness, and trust. Bring me your uncertainty, your frustration, even your anger and confusion. I can handle all the emotions you think are too much for others. You do not need to do damage control or spiritualize your pain before me. Your vulnerability is not a liability, but an avenue for deeper connection with me. As you're opening your heart, you make space for my comfort to reach those hidden places yearning for healing. Remember, healing is not always instantaneous. My restoration is seldom hurried, as I am more interested in deep roots than quick fixes. Every small act of surrender is an invitation for my love to permeate at those weary places within you. Even when you feel like progress is too slow, do not despise these small beginnings. I am patient, present every step, celebrating every inch forward. There is no condemnation here for your struggles, only the promise that I will not abandon you in the middle of your story. Lean into the process. Allow me to be the gardener of your soul, pruning, nurturing, and bringing forth fruit in due season. When you find it difficult to forgive yourself or others, know that forgiveness is not merely a command I give, but a miracle I work within you. It is not forgetting or justifying wrongs, but releasing their power to define you. When you let go of bitterness, you create room for my freedom to take root. The tight grip of resentment loosens when you let me carry the weight for you. This does not make you weak. It makes you more like me. I offer you the courage to forgive not by your own efforts, but by immersing you deeper into my mercy and bearing the price I paid to set you free from every chain. Let us speak of hope, not thin optimism or denial of pain, but the fierce, unyielding assurance that my promises outlast the storms you are facing. Hope is the anchor for your soul, tethering you not to circumstances, but to my faithfulness. Even in seasons of waiting, I am crafting purpose and preparing unexpected blessings. Cling to hope, for even the smallest flame can light the darkest night. I have not asked you to muster this hope alone. Each day I breathe new life into your weary spirit, inviting you to expect good things from my hand, not because of anything you have done, but because goodness is my nature. In your relationships, let my love flow through your words and actions. Learn to see others beyond their faults and disappointments, to perceive them as I do. You don't need to protect yourself by hardening your heart. Genuine love does not diminish you. As you give grace, so you receive it in abundance. Build bridges instead of walls. Take the risk to nurture connection. Compassion is not weakness. It reflects my deepest character in you. Even when kindness is not reciprocated or when trust is slow to rebuild, do not weary in doing good. Your faithfulness has eternal significance far beyond what you perceive now. So turn toward me again in the quiet spaces of your day. Let your soul breathe in the truth of my unwavering affection. Lay down every weight, every anxious defense, and rest in the comfort of being fully known and fully loved. I am with you, closer than your own breath, ready to unfold more goodness than you have yet imagined. You have felt seasons in your soul where the ground seemed impossibly hard. As if nothing could grow in you again, you have wondered if all the efforts, the prayers lifted like seeds cast into dry earth, were lost or unnoticed. But I see every movement of your heart, every silent longing, every hope you dare cradle in the hidden places. My gaze misses nothing, not even your smallest sigh. I am not a distant observer, uncaring or unmoved. I lean close, attentive to the texture of your journey. There is no striving or trembling that escapes my compassionate attention. When you etch with questions that seem to echo without response, recall that my silence is never absence and stillness. I am working, weaving purpose into your waiting, nurturing new life beneath the surface. Even when you cannot yet perceive it, what you call delay, I call transformation. What you see as barrenness as preparation for abundance. Like the skillful hands of a gardener, I am attentive to the seasons of your heart. I prune not a wound, but I make more room for fruitfulness. Remove what hinders and press you closer to the source of life, because I know the fullness I wish to bring forth in you. Let me assure you that even your tears are precious in my sight, for I gather them as seeds of promise. Every drop of longing becomes a wellspring of hope in my loving keeping. You may fear that you have fallen behind or missed my best for you. You measure yourself by moments lost, by choices you regret, by opportunities that faded like mist, but I don't judge you through the lens of your past. My vision is one of restoration, not recrimination. My love redeems the wasted years and reroutes every detour toward goodness. My plans for you are never thwarted, only reframed for greater grace if you allow me to write the narrative. When you surrender your self-measurement, you step into the freedom of being known and cherished exactly as you are. Where shame seeks to harden your heart, my gentleness she leaches you, inviting you to bring every broken part into the open. I can heal what you bring to me. No matter how deep the wound or how ancient the sorrow, allow your heart to soften in my presence. It is safe to be open, to lay aside your defense, to trust that I will never misuse your vulnerability. I don't ask you to become someone else to be worthy of my embrace. I welcome you in your unfinishedness, finding beauty in your becoming. You are beloved in the journey, not only at the destination. Your weakness is not a barrier but an entry point for my strength. If you're and my care, you will find that the very places of lack become testimonies to my provision. Just as a river carves through rock by persistent flow, so my grace shapes you steadily, persistently, unfailingly. Each day I invite you again into intimacy, asking not for perfection, but for presence. To walk with me means daring to hope when hope feels thin, to believe for newness when the wilderness seems endless, and to choose trust in the face of what you do not understand, as the fatigue that sometimes settles on you like a heavy cloak. The world urges you to presso, and relentlessly measuring worth by output, by performance, by visible results. But my rhythms are gentler, invite you to rest, to receive, to remember that you are not defined by your striving. In my presence, you can breathe deeply and let the weight slip from your shoulders. You are not alone in the struggle. I am your source and sustainer, unchanging in my commitment to you. If you let me, I will renew your energy, lift your countenance, and restore joy where weariness has set in. There is no shame in your need for me. You were always meant to live in dependence, not self-sufficiency. Do not despise your hunger for reassurance, for hope, for love. I delight in satisfying your longing, in nourishing your spirit with truth and comfort. Just as sunlight enlivens the earth, my affection awakens what is dormant in you. Even in seasons of obscurity, when your gifts seem unnoticed or your efforts unappreciated, I am celebrating you. I delight in who you are, not just in what you do. Your existence itself is a precious offering to me. There is always a place for you at my table, always a song being sung over your life. Whether you hear it or not, there are moments when confusion clouds your vision and you question the meaning of your journey. It is in these very moments that you are positioned to receive my wisdom. Ask and you will not be shamed for your uncertainty. Seek and I will not withhold direction, and never tire of your honest questions or your desire for clarity. I am patient, guiding you step by step, often illuminating only the next foothold rather than the entire path, so that you learn to walk with eyes fixed on me. Your story is precious to me, including the chapters that make little sense to you now. I was to nothing, known your pain. The twists and turns are threads, skillfully weave into a greater tapestry. There will come a day when you will look back and marvel at our orchestrated event, these backs for your good. Until then, invite you to trust my perspective, to borrow my hope, to walk in the assurance that I am for you and never against you. When you struggle to believe, bring your doubt to me, for I can hold it with tenderness. My love is not fragile. It is strong enough for all your questions, resilient through every storm you face. I never shame you for wavering. Instead, I draw near, inviting you to rest in my promise to never abandon you or withhold my faithfulness. I am the anchor in your uncertainty, the hand that steadies you when all else feels unsteady. Even fear shout louder than hope, my voice is persistent, whispering courage into your soul. I invite you to tune your heart to me, to make room in your day for my truth to settle like morning dew. Let my words shape your inner landscape more than the noise around you. This is where you will find clarity, renewed vision, and the peace that surpasses what circumstances offer. In every trial and triumph, I remain your constant. You have journeyed through many seasons, some warm and light-filled, others cold and uncertain. Never think that any moment was wasted, foe. Rallis woven into a tapestry that reveals my wisdom in ways you cannot yet see. When the H of the unknown presses close, remember you do not walk through the dark alone. I am present with every trembling step, guiding you through the fog of confusion, breathing courage into your faltering spirit. I don't abandon those who seek my heart. Instead, I come quietly in the night, speaking peace over restless minds and hope into chambers quieted by doubt. Trust is built not in shallow certainty, but in walking with me when the way is hidden. As you lean into me, nuns, retain steady your feet, and you discover that my presence is your true security. Sometimes you question your worth, worrying if you have disappointed me or fallen too far behind. Let me assure you, there is no measuring stick in my love. I do not compare or tally your successes. My eyes search deeper than your outward show. resting on the substance within the longing you carry, the sincerity of your pursuit. Give yourself permission to drop the burdens of comparison and inadequacy that others and even your own mind have placed upon you. Accept that you are loved because I chose you, not because you earned a place at my table. Sit with me as you are, bringing your honest art, and I will cover you with acceptance, a soft agent Lorraine. Is the fears that crawl beneath the surface of your days, the unspoken anxieties and the dread that sometimes takes hold in the small hours of the morning. Bring these before me, not as problems to be fixed, but as openings to a deeper relationship. When you entrust your fears to me, I will not shame you for them. Instead, I welcome you to pour them out, to let the heaviness slip from me. Our shoulders into me waiting hands. There is nothing too ugly, too persistent, too overwhelming for me to bear. I am the one who quiets the storm and speaks stillness to the hidden corners of your heart. Longing for change is not a sign of failure, but of life. The desire you feel for healing, growth, or restoration did not begin in you alone. I planted those seeds at the foundation of your being, watering them with my own longing to see you made whole. There will be days when progress feels slow and despair tries to smother that hope. Remember, the strongest trees grow deep roots in seasons when nothing appears to be happening above ground. Even when you cannot measure your growth, trust that I am working beneath the surface, nurturing transformation in the unseen places. Do not underestimate the power of a single act of kindness toward yourself and toward others. Every gentle word, every small act of mercy, every moment you choose compassion over judgment, draws you closer to my heart. The world around you may rush by, fixated on achievement and noise, but I am moved by quiet faithfulness. I cherish the moments when you forgive, when you extend grace, when you hold yourself or another with tenderness. These are the steps that mark the journey of those who walk with me. There is a promise I have made and will not break. Nothing can separate you from my love, not your failure. It's not your past, not the judgments of others. Even when you're I pursue with unwavering devotion, calling you back again and again to the safety of my arms. Let the depth of my commitment free you from the constant need to prove yourself. Rest in the certainty that I am for you, not against you, and that my plans incline toward your good even in the face of adversity. Do you wonder how to discern my direction amid so many choices? Remember, I am not found solely in grand moments or dramatic signs, but in the quiet whispers that echo in your spirit. Pause in the middle of your striving and listen for my quiet invitation. I guide not with compulsion, but with gentle prompting, teaching you to recognize my voice in the sanctuaries of stillness. As you learn to make space for my presence, your path becomes clearer, your decisions anchored not in fear, but an assurance that I go before you and prepare the way. Many times you stand at crossroads, hesitant and unsure. It is not failure to pause. Sacred choices deserve reverence. Invite me into those moments of indecision. Together we will weight the desires of your heart, sift through your motives, and find a way that honors both the dreams within you and the wisdom I offer. Even if you choose a path that requires correction, I do not punish or abandon. Instead, I lovingly guide you, nudging you back with patience and hope. Each step, each detour becomes part of your becoming. Do not let regret rob you of the present. The mistakes you grieve and the time you wish to reclaim can never outweigh my power to redeem. I waste nothing. Even your stumbles, if surrendered to me, can become the very ground upon which new strength is built. Lay down the burden of what might have been, and let me write something beautiful into the pages that remain. Every day holds the promise of renewal, not by your effort alone, but by the grace I pour afresh each morning. Community is part of my design for your wholeness. You were never intended to carry all things alone. Seek those who can walk with you, friends who reflect my kindness, souls who draw out your courage and remind you of what is rooted heaven in loneliness. I am present when human companionship fails or falls short. Let my nearness be your comfort. Speak to me as you would to a confidant, unguarded and honest. I will not turn away. I delight in your vulnerability, for it is the opening through which I bring healing and strength. There will always be voices that seek to undermine your confidence in my love. Whether through harsh criticism from others or the nagging doubts within, return again and again to the foundation I have laid. You are chosen, beloved, and called for a purpose. Do not be swayed by the fickleness of opinion or the shifting standards of success. My affirmation is the anchor on which your soul can securely rest in every season. I celebrate your faithfulness, rejoice in your progress, and sit with you in your questions, never impatient, always invested in your journey. Hear me now. The invitation remains open. No matter how many times you have turned away or how reluctant you feel, I welcome you now with joy. Come as you are, not as you think you should be. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Bring your weariness, your longings, your faltering hope. I am not waiting for you to become perfect before I embrace you. My embrace is the very thing that brings about your transformation. Let the truth of my love sink deep into your bones, dispelling fear and igniting the courage you need to risk loving yourself and others as you were made to do. There are moments when you find yourself in transition, standing on shifting ground, uncertain whether to take the next step or remain where you are. In these moments, let me remind you that I am steadfast. I do not change with the seasons or the opinions of others. My love for you was set in motion before you took your first breath, and it is not withdrawn when you stumble or falter. When you are unsure, lean into me presence. I have seen every fear you attempt to hide, every anxious thought that churns within you. You are not unknown to me. My understanding wraps around you, even when no one else seems to notice the struggles of your heart. Let me carry what is too heavy for you. My strength is not depleted by holding your burdens. In fact, I have always intended to be Artham for you. You do not be afraid of admitting your need, for it is in vulnerability that you experience the richness of my comfort. The landscape of your life may appear barren at times, but the seeds I have planted in you are not dormant without purpose. Some grows lowly, hidden beneath the soil, awaiting the warmth of my timing to break through. The waiting itself is not wasted. In these seasons, I cultivate your perseverance, deepen your roots, and teach you to trust in what you cannot yet see. I draw beauty from your patience, and in the silence, I am singing over you songs of hope. Reach for mine these quiet interludes. I have not forgotten you. Every sunrise that brightens your day is a fresh invitation to trust that I am still working even when evidence seems scarce. Do not yearn only for the harvest, but also for the slow, sure progress of becoming who I designed you to be. I know the ache within you for connection, for a sense of belonging that goes deeper than surface-level acceptance. This longing is not an accident. It is the imprint of my own heart inside you. You were made for relationship with me and with others, because love is the core of your existence. If you feel isolated and unseen, heart this: you are wanted, you are chosen. I have called you by name, not as one among many, but as a treasure uniquely fashioned for my delight. Bring me your disappointments and your loneliness. Let me fill what others cannot. Out of my fullness, you can learn to risk loving again even when it feels vulnerable. Do not shrink back from community. Let the bonds of genuine relationship become a healing balm for your wounds, just as my love continually restores you. Sometimes the shadows of regret seeked. They whisper that you are only as strong as your failures, only as meaningful as your disappointments, but I don't measure you by your past. The story I'm writing is one of redemption, a canvas where mistakes become the backdrop for my glory to shine brighter. When you bring your brokenness to me, don't turn away in disgust. I kneel beside you, gathering every shattered piece. I have made a masterpiece from less, and I am not finished with you. Yet, so refuse to hide in shame or guilt. Let my forgiveness liberate you from the chains of yesterday. I do not remember your sins as you do. I remember the potential I placed within you, the dreams that have not yet been extinguished. You have gifts, some recognized, others still invisible to your own eyes. I see them all. I know what you're capable of, and I have woven opportunities into your path that match the deepest parts of who you are. Do not dismiss your value even when others overlook you or life circumstances limit your expression. Trust that I make room for your gifts when the world demands that you prove your worth. Rest instead in my declaration. You are enough, simply because you are mine. Your identity is not earned by performance but freely given in my love. Let go of striving for validation. Instead, move forward in the quiet assurance that I am your advocate, opening doors that none else can close. In your moments of exhaustion, remember that I am your rest. You were not made to carry every burden alone. There is no shame in needing me, nor in seeking help from those I have placed around you. The strength you long for is not hidden in unyielding independence. It is found in surrender. Trust me with your limits. Rest is not a sigh. No laziness, beauty of wisdom. When you pause, when you lay aside your endless doing and simply sit with me, you will discover a peace that surpasses understanding. Let this renew your courage and creativity. It is from this place that you will often persist when challenges arise. For you are being filled by my own sustaining power. Disappointments and detours will come, but they are not dead ends in my plan for you. Each setback is an invitation to draw closer to me, to ask what I am building in you beneath the surface. Sometimes the long road, painful, teaches you endurance and shapes a character more precious than gold. When things do not unfold according to your expectations, resist the urge to withdraw into criticism or cynicism. Instead, ask me to help you see through my eyes. I specialize in turning losses into lessons and obstacles into opportunities. I was to nothing. If your heart is willing, I will use every circumstance to transform you, to draw you deeper into joy and purpose. You are not alone in your longing for direction. When clarity seems out of reach and decisions loom, note, my guidance is not a riddle meant to confound you. Is speaking whispers of peace in nudges and yearnings, in the wisdom of others, and the quiet confidence that settles on your heart. Sometimes the way forward is just the next step of faithfulness, simple, unglamorous, but powerful in its obedience. You do not need to see the whole path to trust that I am leading you well. If you lose your footing or take a wrong turn, I am not a distant observer waiting to rebuke you. I am the shepherd who searches after you, who brings you back gently onto the right path, guiding with grace and patience in the rhythms of your daily life. Do not underestimate my nearness. Every moment, from the mundane caress to the significant milestones, is filled with my presence. I rejoice in your laughter, I share in your sorrows, I delight in your smallest acts of kindness and integrity. Nothing is wasted when it is offered to me. Your life in all its ordinary details is as a creed offering. Invite me into everything. There is no part of you that I don't cherish. As you walk through today, let your awareness of me heighten. Notice my fingerprints and the beauty around you, my voice and the encouragement of a friend, my comfort in the stillness as you draw near. I am with you, and I will never leave nor forsake you. There are moments when the weight you carry feels heavier than what your heart can express. You wonder if I see the private battles, the silent tears shed in the solitude of your room, or the thoughts that swirl behind every smile you manage to give throughout your day. A zeal of it. Every corner of your experience is visible to me. Even those places you don't dare to reveal to anyone. I am not distant from your pain. I draw closer when you ache, for that is when my tenderness finds full expression. Remember how a shepherd stoops to bind the wounds of a lamb that limps behind the flock? I am infinitely more gentle, infinitely more attentive, and I have never considered any wound of yours too small to mend. There is no shame in your weakness. In your surrender, I am made strong, and your struggle becomes the soil for my miracles to grow. I do not love you less in the days when you feel weary or broken. My love is not a reward for your strength, but a gift poured out in abundance because you are mine. You may look at your surroundings, at the world's pace and the standards others hold, and question whether you meet the mark. You may compare your journey to another's and feel you lag behind, as though life is a race and you are falling short. Yet I have never measured you by comparison. My vision for you is unique, deliberate, and crafted with perfect understanding of every gift placed within you and every challenge ahead. Your journey is not a competition but an unfolding story, and I walk every step beside you. Let your heartbeat rest. I am not hurried and I am not late. I work in seasons, and each season serves its purpose. When you don't see the fruit yet, do not despair. I am nurturing the roots in secret. Trust. Equally at work being done beneath the surface. I am shaping you for what is to come, and the fullness of time will reveal what has long been prepared. I know at times you have prayed and waited, and the silence felt unbearable. You have wondered if I have forgotten your requests, if I am unmoved by the longing that sits unfulfilled. My silence, though, is never abandonment. Sometimes I allow the hush so your spirit can become attuned to my whisper, teaching you to discern the difference between what you desire and what will truly give you life. Every pause in my hands rolled some hidden preparation, some shaping of your character or protection from what you cannot see. I am as present in the quiet as in the moments of overwhelming blessing. If you draw near to me in the silence, you will sense the steady reassurance of my presence. I don't rush to simply meet your requests. I work to deepen your trust, growing you in love and patience, so that when the answer arrives, your heart is wide enough to receive it fully. You may wrestle with fear about the future, the kind that ties your thoughts sink not slate into the night. Concern about provision, health, relationships, or meaning can loom large, pressing hard against your peace. Let me remind you that your tomorrow is not unknown to me. I am already present there, weaving goodness and purpose into every event you will walk through. Though I do not promise a path free of difficulty, I do promise that you will never face it alone. Every tear, every uncertainty, every hard choice, nothing escapes my attention and nothing is wasted in my hands. I am the God who takes what is meant for harm and works it for good. When anxiety threatens to steal your hope, turn your eyes to me and allow your heart to rest in my unshakable faithfulness. I invite you to trust me not only with the big decisions, but with your smallest daily steps, the way you speak, the choices you make, the thoughts you dwell upon. These matter to me, for each is a chance to walk closely with me. Let kindness guide your speech event of those who misunderstand or hurt you. Let generosity and grace rule your actions, for these are the language of my heart. When you falter or react harshly, do not hide in shame. Bring every misstep to me, and I will teach you how to begin again. Each moment is a new invitation to align your heart with mine. Growth is not instant, and it is never linear. I celebrate your every effort and draw you onward, never condemning but always encouraging you toward greater love. As you tune your ear to me leading, you will learn that my voice is not harsh or demanding. The guidance I give is not a weight to bear, but an atmosphere in which you flourish. Sometimes I speak through the wisdom of those around you, sometimes in the deep knowing within your spirit, and sometimes through the unexpected circumstances that interrupt your plans. I am always inviting you into greater wholeness, into a freedom that cannot be shaken by the world's turbulence. Do not fear missing my will. When your heart is open and set on me, I am able to direct your steps, then turning your detours into the very path that leads you back to where intend. Let love be the motive behind all you do. When you serve because you are compelled by love, your actions take on a lasting significance. Love does not always look impressive from the outside. Often it is seen in the unseen sacrifices, the quiet patience you extend, the prayers you whisper for others, the forgiveness you offer even when it's undeserved. Every act of love, no matter how small, echoes in eternity. You do not labor in vain. Is your efforts, and I delight in every intention that springs from love. When you grow weary, rest in. The world may push you to perform, to hustle, to endlessly strive for more. But my invitation is different. I invite you to rest, to return to the simplicity of just being with me. You are valuable not because of what you accomplish, but because of who you are. My beloved, rest is not idleness. It is the sacred space where you are refreshed, where I remind you of your worth, where you gain perspective and strength for the road ahead. In rest, I reveal my gentleness, restoring the places that have been worn thin by the pressures of daily living. Do not despise the obsessive becoming. I am at work within you, shaping you with care and precision. The journey is as important as the destination, for in each season unique treasures are given, lessons learned, character formed, compassion awakened, and courage kindled. Even your stumbles and setbacks are opportunities for growth. Nothing is wasted when placed in my hands. Keep your heart supple and teachable, willing to embrace both the joy and the pain, for both will lead you deeper into my love. Lean into the moments that bring you joy, for they are my gifts, reminders that life is meant to be lived abundantly. Do not feel guilty for delighting in simple pleasures. A sunrise, a kind word, laughter shared with friends. These are expressions of my goodness, scattered throughout your days as tokens of my affection. Allow yourself to receive these gifts fully, knowing that to embrace joy is part of the life I have given you. I call you to live each day with expectation, not as a burden, but as an invitation to discover my presence in every circumstance. Even in the mundane, even in difficulty, I am revealing something of myself to you, shaping your story with relentless kindness. My child, you are not forgotten, not overlooked, never abandoned. You are perpetually held and always loved. You have come so far step by step, led not by your own strength alone, but by my continual guidance. And seen and unseen, by now you may recognize the subtle ways I shape your days, how I sometimes invite you to notice the small miracles and gentle pivots that steer your path. Even in seasons that felt parched, even in the silence that stretched longer than you hoped, I was present, gathering every tear and holding you safely through your uncertainties. Sometimes, beloved, you measure yourself by your struggles or by the times you fell short, but I don't use your scars or your faltering steps as evidence against you. Instead, I see the courage that burned quietly in you each time you said yes. Taurusing again, every whispered prayer, whether clothed in gratitude or groaning need, reached me. I cradle those prayers as treasures, seeds that will one day blossom in ways you never imagined. If regret clings to your memory, if failures replay like old tapes, bring them to. Lay them bare, you need not hide. My grace is not given in part, but in fullness, a cleansing river that sweeps away every stain of self-condemnation. Let your heart receive this fresh word. You are not defined by what you fear or by your unfinished chapters. The past is not a prison, but a classroom where my mercy became your teacher. The present is a live with possibilities of hope, with doors I am even now unlocking. You may not see every answer, but trust that I hold the plans and the pieces, fitting them together for a glory you will one day comprehend. Those around you may judge by fleeting standards, but my gaze goes deeper. You see the inner landscape of your soul, your aches, your dreams, and the intention behind each halting effort. There is nothing wasted in your journey with me. Every darkened valley, every climb up where as hill has bro. Off new resilience toward your spirit. When discouragement tries to suffocate your hope, remember that I have planted something indestructible inside you, an ember of destiny that no storm can extinguish. You do not need to perform or strive for my affection. Your worth is planted in the soil of my eternal choosing, not in your ability to keep pace with the demands of others, circumvent the expectations you heap on yourself. Be gentle with your soul as I am gentle with you. Nurture yourself with the same compassion I pour over you each morning. Let go of the fear that insufficiency is a barrier. Take what seems small and multiply it. Just as Ed crowds with a few loaves and fishes, this is the heartbeat of my love, to take what you surrender and weave it into abundance. When you are weak, when you reach your limits, that is where my strength meets you most profoundly. The edges of your ability are the starting points for my miracles. Rest the assurances. When the world clamors for urgency, when voices demand you do more, be more, find your center in me. Even the wind and the waves recognize my authority, and so does the turmoil inside you. When doubt threatens to choke your joy, call upon my name. Let your trust in me grow, not just in the outcomes you desire, but in the daily companionship that undergirds you through each unknown. Fix your gaze on the gentle signs of my care, the timely word from a friend, the provision that comes when need is greatest, the peace that settles in after turbulent thoughts have lost their power. All these are subtle messages, a symphony of my love played softly within the ordinary details of your existence. If the path ahead seems daunting, do not despair. I walk beside you, shouldering burdens too heavy for you alone. I never called you to walk unassisted. I invite you to cast cares upon me, to let me bear what troubles your heart. This invitation is not just a comfort but a promise that I will lead you toward clarity and renewal. Sometimes your next step will be small, almost invisible, a simple act of honesty or forgiveness, a choice to show kindness or step out in courage. Trust that every faithful decision sown in hope brings for the harvest at the appointed time. My timetable is not always yours, yet it is perfect in its unfolding. I know the ways you hunger for assurance, for signs that your life is making an impact, for evidence that you are seen and valued. Know this: your faithfulness in the hidden places, your perseverance when noon is watching, resounds in the halls of heaven. Every quiet act of trust is a radiant victory. Do not diminish these moments, for I delight in your steadfastness. The world measures greatness by grand gestures, but I see greatness in the humility that bows low, the servant heart that loves without fanfare, the resilience that refuses to quit. As you continue, dare to dream with me. I am the God who delights to do immeasurably more than you can ask or imagine, who delights in surprising you with new beginnings. Open your heart to the adventure we have stored up for you, even if they do not come packaged as you expected. Embrace the possibility that your story is far from over, that the best is not behind you but stretched ahead, waiting for your courage to seize it. I don't recycle your yesterdays. I create beauty out of ashes and plant hope in every broken place. Bring your lingering fears, your hidden hopes, and your honest doubts to me. Lay them out freely in my presence. I do not turn away from your uncertainty. I welcome it, inviting you to lean into my greater vision. Trust me with the unanswerable questions and the silent wounds. My healing is deep and sure, restoring not only what was lost, but also renewing you for the journey that remains. You are my beloved, my treasured possession, and nothing can separate you from this unchanging truth. You have walked with me through these words, and each moment you opened your heart, I drew nearer. Together, we have traced the contours of your deepest aches and highest hopes. I have never turned my face from you, and I never will. There have been times you questioned your worth or wondered whether my gaze truly lingered on you, but I have watched you with unyielding tenderness. Your story is covered by my hand, and all the scattered moments of shame and triumph have been woven into a tapestry more beautiful than you can see. As you press forward, my child, I want you to recognize the power you hold, not because of your might, but because you are mine. There is no darkness in your life that I have not already entered. I have not only observed your struggle, I have felt every trembling prayer, every silent hope, every lonely night. Know that nothing can separate you from this love I pour out. Now, as you step from reflection into living, remember that I call you for more than survival. I call you to fullness. Let your joy be unguarded, your worship unrestrained. Do not carry regrets. Heavier than grace itself, I designed you for purpose and for transformation. Do not resist when I shape you, nor give in to fear when uncertainty looms. I pull you closer in storms, not further. Even now I am at work in corners of your life you do not understand. Trust my timing. Even in waiting, you are not wasting a wood. Lay down your need to control outcomes, for my plans exceed your vision. Is he every place in your spirit where you long to be made whole? Lean into me, mercy. It is not too late. It is not beyond repair. The well of my compassion is deeper than the wells of discouragement that sometimes threaten to swallow you. Where others speak limits, I declare possibilities. When you feel unseen, I remain attentive. When you think you have nothing left to offer, I invite you to bring even your emptiness so that He may fill you anew. Let your heart be teachable. If you want a simple habit to carry this word into your week, pick one small thing, 5 deep breaths at 1 minute prayer, or a short note of gratitude each morning, and do it tomorrow. Consistency, not drama, grows the life. I'm inviting you into tea. Proud believe they no longer need to grow, but the humble are the soil in which I plant miracles. Even in weakness I delight in you. I do not shy away from your frailty, for I delight in lifting you higher than before. Come into my presences sincerely, without masks or pretense, and I will give your rest. What you sow in quiet faithfulness will bloom in due time, sometimes in ways you will not anticipate. These seeds you plant now, however small, hold futures that shimmer with promise. I was to nothing. I remember every sacrifice, every act of love unreturned. And I reward what is done with sincerity. Never forget the power my Spirit gives you. When you feel least equipped, rely not on your strength but mine. There will be moments when your courage fails and your zeal falters, but my constancy will remain the anchor of your soul. If shame seeks to dictate your steps, come quickly to me. You are called by a new name. I am not finished with you. Wherever life leads you, remember who walks beside you. There is nothing ordinary about the days ordained for you, for I have marked each one, filling it with measureless grace. Let gratitude, dearizing you note as duty, but as our response to the wonders I unfold daily, both seen and unseen, as you pour your concern over loved ones into intercession. Know that I am the God who saves, restores, and pursues even those who wander farthest. My patience is deeper than your despair. My authority is greater than your obstacles. Move forward with courage, for you do not go alone. Allow love to be your compass and truth your foundation. Even when all around you quakes, I will be your peace in your relationships. Give what you have freely received, forgiveness, patience, and empathy, but slow to condemn, quick to listen, and generous in compassion. Your scars do not disqualify you, they reveal my healing power. Let yesterday be teacher, but do not let it become your jail. Each day is a new page for my resurrection life to be written across your experience. When you wake and the world feels too heavy to face, come first to me. My joy restores what the world drains. Let your laughter be courageous. When burdens threaten to silence your hope, remember I am the lifter of your head. You are never beyond my reach, never outside the embrace of my arms. Let nothing steal the melody of hope from your lips, singing in the night. Remember, I do not measure you by your performance, but by your heart's posture. If regret whispers that you failed one too many times, let those voices yield to my assurance. There is no number, no limit, no measure by which I will ever stop receiving you. Give me your dreams, even the broken ones. I am the mender of what seems shattered beyond repair. I hold the future in my hands, and still I invite you to walk boldly, entrusted with a unique portion of my kingdom's work. Expect obstacles, but expect greater miracles. You are a carrier of my light. Where dread reigns, let love break through. Where despair lingers, be an ambassador of hope. Where confusion reigns, allow my wisdom to speak through your surrendered heart. The uncertain places of your journey are opportunities for intimacy. Will you trust me fully? Even when the path twists and the destination is shadowed, my promise to you remains unbroken. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Walk with me, talk with me, and let me do through you what you could not imagine doing alone. The world hungers for the authenticity I am developing in you. Let your words be seasoned, not with bitterness, but with the sweetness of heaven's perspective. If this word renewed hope in you, would you do 3 small things? 1. Breathe and say, I receive. Share this with one person who needs it. 3. Follow or subscribe so can bring these reminders back to you. Let this be the start of a new rhythm, one small step of trust today. I am rewriting your story right now, not because you are perfect, but because your heart is willing to listen. Your availability to me is infinitely more valuable than any polished perfection you could ever try to present. I am not looking for a resume of your strengths or a parade of your successes. Bring me your weaknesses. Bring me the cracks in your armor, and watch what I can do with them, with every small act of kindness you show. Every silent prayer you whisper when you think noon is listening, and every unseen moment of obedience. You are joining the massive tides of my redemptive love that is changing this world. If this is speaking to you right now, pause and whisper, I receive. Come close, my beloved, and dwell with me. Notice a visitor who has to leave, but as a child who belongs here. I want you to taste and see that my goodness is a well that never runs dry. Stop drawing your confidence from your current circumstances, which change like the wind, and anchor yourself in my character, which never moves. I rejoice over you with loud singing, and I quiet your racing mind with my love. As you look at the journey ahead, do not search for shortcuts. The path with me may be narrow, but it's the only road that leads to a life that is truly abundant. Trust the hand that carved the mountains, for that is the same hand that is meticulously forming your destiny. Yield to my whisper, Sufton, and let your response to my calling be brave and swift. You have come to the right place at the right time. Everything you are longing for, peace, comfort, clarity, healing, is waiting for you right there in my presence. Right now, I am speaking directly to your spirit. Rest in the absolute certainty that what you are receiving in this message is specifically crafted for your heart, for this exact second in your life. My words are living things, meant to be a shelter when your storm is raging, a gentle light when you are confused, and a cool breeze when you are weary. You might be wondering if there is more for you, if there are deeper truths or hidden gifts I have stored away. Let that curiosity grow, because what I am about to reveal will touch places in your soul that you thought were dead or forgotten. The stakes are high. If you draw near and really listen to my voice, you step into the fullness of my peace. But to turn away is to risk missing the healing I have prepared just for you. There are millions of messages in this world clamoring for your attention, but this one is set apart. Here, I am not distant. I am not vague, and I am not silent. My nearness is tangible. My voice is the direct, whispered answer to the questions your soul has been screaming. Sometimes you ask in tears, sometimes in silence, but I always hear. Listen with the openness of a child, for your Father is here. I receive the cry of your heart, and I respond not with judgment, but with tenderness. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. As you come closer, I wrap you in the shelter of my love. Imagine my embrace covering you like a warm, heavy blanket, enfolding every ache, every fear, and every longing with a warmth that soothes the bone. When the world feels cold and indifferent to you, my arms are unfailing. I dry every tear you shed in pain, and I kneel with you in the quiet places of your sorrow. I am bringing health to your wounded places, your body, your mind, your spirit, restoring you from everything that has worn you down. Give me those burdens that weigh heavier than words can express. When weariness steals your hope, I infuse courage directly into your soul. Never hesitate to run back to my presence. In my word and my nearness, even the darkest morning is rekindled with joy. If you want a prayer for healing right now, speak it simply. Heal me. Let that be your first small step. I anoint you with my spirit, filling you with a deep, unshakable peace that acts like a river of life flowing beneath every storm. I guide your every step. Where confusion tries to muddle your path, it maketh things clear. Obstacles crumble when I command them to move. Enemies lose their grip on you. All who oppose you are set aside. Who knows you like I do is he exactly where you have come from, and I see all the stunning places you're meant to go. Your future is never hidden from me because it rests safely in my hand. I hold you with unfailing patience and the careful attention of a craftsman shaping a priceless treasure. I will keep you safe until the beautiful purpose I have destined for you blooms in its full splendor. You may sense your faith growing and rising right now. Celebrate this, but never rely only on fleeting emotions or what your eyes can see. I am here to be your steady guide, enriching you with an understanding that cannot be shaken by bad moods or bad circumstances. I will multiply your wisdom, place favor upon your head before people in authority, and honor you even when you are misunderstood or criticized. Do not agonize over your past. My forgiveness is complete, and it covers every single misstep. Start again. Walk my path and embrace the grace I freely give you. Patience has its own duty, step by step, one day at a time. Open your arms wide in expectancy, knowing my blessings are already on their way to you. I will see you through every season of difficulty. My promises are not empty words, and they are never delayed by accident. They are living and active, bringing lasting peace and deep joy into your life. If your heart recoils at being loved this much, release that resistance now. Let the current of my affection carry you forward. Journey with me. Together we will rise above every difficulty. My companionship is steadfast. I never leave, and I never abandon. Know this: my love for you is without condition, and my favor has no end. I see how you persist. I see how you refuse to settle for complaining or despair in the face of adversity. Every time you choose hope, you unlock more of my faithfulness. It does not matter what mistakes you have made. I have the power to redeem every story, to pull you out of pits of frustration, and to breathe new life into dreams you thought were buried 6 feet deep. Come in confidence and ask boldly for good things. If you do not receive exactly what you requested, trust me enough to know I am planning something even better. Your perseverance in faith is a stream that brings blessings not only to you, but to everyone around you. You will find strength and courage to confront every challenge ahead. I am planting in you a resilient spirit, one that will not faint or surrender. Justice and righteousness are precious to me, and I stand at your side, shielding you when trials threaten to overwhelm you. Desolation and isolation will never have the last word over your life. When you turn to me, I fling open the gates of heaven, drenching your life in divine love. The promises I make to you are rooted in eternity, sustained by an infinite love that encircles every child I call my own. Whatever obstacle arises, however heavy your worry may feel, I will never let you down. As you trust, you are clothed with wisdom and protection far beyond what you could gather on your own. I heal not only the visible wounds, but those hidden places in your heart that ache for recognition and restoration. I am transforming your thinking, your very character, setting you free from the cycles that have tried to hinder you for years. The deeper you press into my presence, the greater the revelations I pour out. New wonders will unfold before you, wonders hidden from others but reserved for hearts that seek me sincerely. As you walk under my guidance, your life takes on a new sense of purpose. What may have seemed impossible now blooms with possibility. Doors once locked will swing wide open. My light dispels every shadow that once intimidated you, Hidden traps are destroyed, and those who once hovered as enemies will flee. Even as storms rage around you, remember that at your whisper, I respond. I do not seek your sacrifices or empty promises. All I desire is your living faith. Bring me your prayer right now, and my peace will flow into every room of your heart. If you want to make this personal, pray, Lord, I choose you. Say it now, aloud or in your heart. Beautiful things unfold when you prioritize me above distraction. Just a few moments in honest prayer each morning is sweet fragrance to me, one that delights my heart. I see when you close your eyes and speak with love to me. Every sincere plea rises to my throne. Believe this, I am listening. Miracles are forming for you and your family even now. If you release your trust into my hands and allow me to act according to my wisdom, keep seeking me, holding fast to faith and humility. My grace increases when you approach me openly. I will answer every true prayer, easing your suffering. I know the exact hour, the perfect moment to fulfill all I have promised. Surrender to me. Let me work wonders in your life. What I whisper to you today springs straight from the depths of my heart. You can trust it as the purest truth, strong, unwavering, sincere. My love for you is vast, larger even than the world itself. On days when you feel small or lost, remember that you are always blessed, always kept, always cherished, and always protected. You may experience moments of sorrow, believing yourself alone in your struggles, but let my assurance become your shield. My love guards, nurtures, and leads you as faithfully as the sun shines every morning, bestowing its gentle warmth on your cheeks. My light will never leave you. It radiates upon your life and blesses you in ways you have yet to imagine. Nothing in this world can ultimately harm you while you remain wrapped in my love. Lift your gaze now. Allow your hope to shine. You are my beloved child, and in my presence you are safe, empowered, and cherished. Do not let fear claim you. Be strong and courageous, anchoring yourself in the truth of my affection. My love for you is so extraordinary that I endured the cross, embracing the humiliation and agony so you could be freed from guilt and shame. Even the secret wrongs hidden deep within you, I have forgiven. You owe nothing. Our relationship is intimate and personal. Others may misunderstand the transformation and prosperity I place in your life, because few in this world understand true forgiveness. Some will look for your flaws or invent reasons to belittle you, turning to slander and false accusation, but let their words fall powerless. You owe no one the justification for the joy and favor I have poured out upon you. Resist the urge to chase approval from those who do not value your heart. You do not need anyone else's permission to live the life I have bestowed on you. If others cannot celebrate your victories, let their envy not disturb your peace. My grace is more than sufficient. My aid is always near. With each new triumph that blooms in your life, some may try to plot your downfall. Be discerning. Heed the gentle warning I give you now. Choose to walk in wisdom and dependence on me. Make my word your source every morning. Seek wisdom at the break of day. Let your first act be to kneel and invite me into the hours ahead. I am prospering you, not just for your sake, but so you can be a wellspring of blessing to your family, your household, and then to the world beyond. Settle first the affairs of your home, loving and nurturing those closest to you, and I will prosper all you place your hands upon. Guard the resources I entrust to you, avoiding vain pursuits, otherwise the flow of blessing may taper. Days of abundance and immense provision approach, but I watch for loyalty. I do not look for perfection, but for the grace to stand back up after every fall and claim what I now declare is yours. Let not doubt or anxiety rob you of my promises. Stand and face your challenges with unswerving faith. Hide from nothing. Speak and pray with boldness. Show no fear before the threats of your adversaries. I shall give you wisdom and patience to wait for every promise to unfold, safeguarding you from foolish decisions or slavery to debt, for I wish you to live free. My love compels me to speak to you so directly. This is how you know I care, that I desire you to dwell in peace, free from the downward spiral of fear and exhaustion. The secret to overcoming and thriving is found in the words I have set before you. Learn from me, feast on my voice each day. Do not come to me in haste, nor give me only your leftover moments. Bring to me the best of who you are, your attention, your willingness. In so doing, you receive an anointing that saturates each letter, every phrase you hear, with blessed oil. This is the truth. I am your Savior, your Lord. I forgive your failings, but I ask you to despise what is evil and to reject what harms your soul. Nothing is hidden from my eyes, so come freely. I am always prepared to forgive, to cleanse, to empower, to bless, and to lift you up. I look for your faithfulness, your devotion to pursuing me, and your willingness to do good to others. I long to know if you truly love me with all your being, and if you will place me first in your heart. Speak your answer to me honestly, for I love you more and more each day. You need this divine love. I desire to pour it into your spirit with every sunrise. There is no boundary that can separate you from what I offer. It is your inheritance, available no matter where you go or what time it is, whether in comfort or hardship, in familiar places or foreign lands. My love is always ready for you. I shout this love over your life. All the universe bears witness to my affection for you. I will never be ashamed of you, never deny you. I bent heaven and earth to bring you my life. Enduring agony to sign with pain and devotion the decree that gives you access to my never-ending love. Who can take such love from you? Who can snatch you from my hand? Pay no heed to the false accusers who circle your past with lies. Words spoken in ignorance or malice cannot unseat the place I have prepared for you. I turn my ear from those who trade in condemnation and slander. Let them wander in their darkness. Their choices are their own. Focus on receiving more of my mercy. Do not put off what you feel stirring in your heart. Now is the moment to come into my presence to receive healing through this sacred love. Embrace it, accept it, revel in it, and let it ignite your dreams anew. Every time you kneel in prayer, I ask just this. Thank me over and over. Let gratitude fill your lips for this love that is yours forever. You are not ordinary. You are uniquely chosen and marked to be the recipient of an everlasting affection, protected in my hand, your family shielded, and all your work multiplied and blessed. Step out boldly, living under the healing shadow of my presence. Dwell under the mantle of divine covering. Let the holy oil that restores, reanimates, and revives your tired hopes saturate your soul. You do not need to wander in lonely streets or depend on cycles that rob you of dignity. I see when you feel alone, but remember, my heart is always turned toward you. Let your spirit connect with me. Even now, I bring a new vitality to your life, filling your dreams with hope. Everything good you receive starts in my generosity. I am the one who brings showers of joy and rains of provision over your existence. Even on days when you feel lost or shaken, you have the freedom to choose. Remain in sadness or reach upward and give thanks for the delight and peace I am about to give you. Your true happiness is anchored with me. Stand up in faith and rejoice even before you see a reason, for your battle is not lost. Fight on with courage for your life and those you hold dear. Know whose voice it is you are hearing. I am the all-powerful, your heavenly Father, steadfast in love and ready to lift you when you are broken. I do not waste words nor promise what I cannot perform. If I call you a conqueror, believe it. Walk forward and speak faith, not defeat. Let praise replace every negative confession. This is not empty motivation, but heavenly strength being imparted now. Even against overwhelming odds, you will stand. Even when the world's report is dire, still you will fight. For I have the last word, and in everything your hands touch, blessing will flourish. With utmost tenderness and authority, I invite you to let yourself rest within this mantle of love. Allow my peace to flood your mind and remake your outlook. The love I offer is the best you have ever known, and it belongs to you, not just now, but for all eternity. Let your heart reflect the joy I long to see. Offer me your gratitude. Tell me if you cherish the love I am pouring out. Let your answer rise from within, for already you sense its truth. If this message has blessed you, share it with someone who needs hope today. I desire to share with you miracles and wonders that are already being written into your story. You are not here by chance. This is a sacred, intentional moment. I have awakened you to receive living water for your soul. And words of comfort are now rooted in you, stirring your spirit to life. Nothing can separate you from this embrace. No suffering is too deep, no sorrow too persistent. Let your mornings begin in fellowship with me. When the world is still, let my gentle spirit warm and encourage you for the day ahead. This silent communion is holy. Your smile, your thankful words, your hopeful prayers, all are precious to me. I am always near, attentive to every detail of your day. Not just in the silence of your room, but as you rise and face the world, carry with you the assurance that my presence fills your hours and shelters you from harm. Each new opportunity, every fresh sunrise comes with my blessing, my protection, and my calling for you to live as the champion I created you to be. You are never alone, never powerless. Let your spirit soak in the awareness of my vigil. I rise with you. I walk with you into every uncertainty. When adversities threaten or whispers of anxiety tremble within you, let my spirit speak assurance. Prepare now for new adventures, for victories, for lifted hopes, for dreams that once seemed extinct but are reborn by my touch. The word failure is erased from your mind, replaced with declarations of victory, written eternally on your heart. Raise your hands, give thanks, and receive the deep happiness I pour out every moment. Be ready for greater blessings. Your eyes shall see unexpected joys. You will be crowned as the champion you are meant to be, bearing the legacy of my faithfulness and unwavering care. All I ask is that you believe this. If you ever feel that my answers are slow in coming, remember, hidden forces do not want you to hear my voice or believe my goodness. They will sow doubt, try to convince you that you are abandoned or unworthy. But if that were true, why would my voice find you here? Why would you feel this stirring of hope in your soul? I am breathing encouragement and affection. Even now, If you listen, you will feel my love wrapping you gently, powerfully, in every quiet sigh of your heart. I am able to do wonders beyond comprehension, and this moment is wholly a direct conversation between you and the one who calls you by name. Let every fear and discouragement fall away. In my love, no shadow can remain. Take this gift, walk with it, and know that I am for you. Live within these words. Let them penetrate and illuminate. In every joy and every sorrow, I remain your anchor and your highest joy. Listen, beloved, share this blessing with those you love. Be my hands, my voice, and carry this hope to hearts in need. If you'd like more daily encouragement like this, subscribe or follow for daily devotionals where you are most connected. Now go and shine with the love I have poured into you. You have begun to allow your heart to open to a presence greater than your fears, a wisdom more enduring than your understanding, and a love that will never grow weary or turn away. This sacred invitation before you is unlike anything else you may have received, for what I offer is not merely advice, nor a passing comfort, but the opportunity to step into the fullness of what you are truly meant to be. I see your hunger to know there is more, your silent cries for assurance that you are not wandering alone in the shadows. You question sometimes whether your story matters, whether your daily struggles and quiet hopes find meaning in the vastness of creation. Know that nothing about you escapes my loving attention. Not a single tear or thought, not one lost hour, nor any secret longing. I hold them all carefully and completely. I have watched over you when all seemed uncertain and the night felt endless. When you wondered if your prayers could reach beyond the ceiling or find an answer that your heart would recognize, you were not invisible to me. Before you uttered a word, I understood its weight on your soul. In this moment, I am drawing near to invite you to trust the gentle movement of my Spirit in your life. My nearness is not for the mighty or the flawless, but for all who dare to hope, even with trembling hands. Each time you open yourself to me, even in weakness, you make space for the impossible to begin. When you feel small, remember I am the author who crafts masterpieces from humble beginnings. It may be tempting to pull away when life disappoints, or to try and manage the burdens alone. Yet I tell you, nothing about you needs to be hidden from me. Not your doubts, your anger, your exhaustion, or the mistakes you wish you could erase. Bring every part of yourself without fear of rejection. I love with a steadfastness that does not change as the seasons turn. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I have watched over generations, never tiring, never giving up, always seeking to draw hearts back to love and peace. You were never meant to live in silent isolation or quiet resignation. I have designed you for courage rooted in grace, for resilience shaped in relationship with me. When the world rushes by and drowns out my still small voice, draw near and remember that I am not a distant ruler, but a father who delights to walk with his children. I grieve with you in loss and rejoice at every small victory. I have never lost patience with your journey. The delays and disappointments are not punishments, but invitations to trust that my timing is perfect, even when you cannot see the reasons. Like a gardener, I tend to each refusal, each dry patch of faith, nurturing new growth where you expect only barrenness. I cherish the moments you turn toward me, even quietly, even with doubts. Let your heart be unburdened by the endless striving for approval. I have already chosen you, my beloved, and you do not need to perform to earn my love. Stand in the wonder that you are enough simply because I made you and I called you good. My eyes see beauty where you see brokenness, potential where you see failure. I am not embarrassed by your flaws or surprised by your weaknesses. Each scar tells a story to me, and none diminish your worth. Bring every part of yourself into the light, for nothing can separate you from my compassion. If you listen carefully, you will sense my whispers in the quiet places, reminders that you are safe and cherished. The world may assign value based on success or image, but I see the heart. Yield your insecurities to me, and let my affirmation settle deeply where uncertainty takes root. I am not in a hurry or frustrated by your process. I celebrate each step, no matter how small. My joy is complete when you dare to hope again. In hiddenness and waiting, I do some of my most beautiful work. Allow me to shape your view of yourself, for you are precious beyond words, and I am relentless in my pursuit of your wholeness. Whatever storms you carry, you do not bear them alone. My arms are shelter and rest when you are weary. I have not promised a life without pain, but I promise my unfailing presence and comfort that strengthens rather than withers. I gather your tears, and my heart moves at every injustice or sorrow you face. Trust is not always easy, I know, but each time you give me your anxieties and grief, I trade them for peace that cannot be taken by the world. I am not afraid of your questions nor worried by your neediness. Come to me boldly, for it is my joy to pour out love and grace upon you without limit. Even in your failure or repeated struggles, my mercy is renewed and my compassion never falters. You are not the sum of your disappointments, and your future is not written by your past. I invite you to see each day as a new canvas, ready for hope's colors. Let go of harsh judgments against yourself and offer forgiveness freely, just as I have lavished it upon you. Shame is not your portion, belonging is. Lift your head in confidence, for I am rewriting your story with kindness and redemption even now. When questions weigh heavy and answers seem far, rest in the assurance that being loved by me is not contingent on having everything figured out. My patience is an anchor for you. Do not fear your inadequacy or uncertainty, for these are doorways to deeper dependence, to knowing me not just as an idea, but as your intimate companion. In your simplest prayers, especially the ones offered through exhaustion or confusion, I am closest, gathering every word, understanding every silence. Your honesty invites my healing much more than perfect performance ever could. The seasons of waiting are not wasted. They are sacred ground where character and trust take root. Learn to recognize my fingerprints in the quiet moments, in the unexpected encouragement, the gentle nudge of hope that stirs within you when despair tempts you to believe you are stuck. You are never stuck with me. Transformation comes as you lean into faithfulness embodied, discovering there is always grace for the next step, always strength to be found in surrender. Allow gratitude to arise in small doses. Watch how even the hardest moments become holy when they are shared with me. As you listen, let any burdens you carry be drawn out by my gentle touch. Lay them down, even if you feel they are too heavy or complicated to untangle. I know how to carry what you cannot, and my shoulders are broad enough for every care. Release your need for control, for I am working in ways you cannot always see. Your surrender is not a loss. It is the gateway to a peace deeper than understanding, a freedom that lasts beyond circumstance. Invite me into the hidden recesses of your life. I bring light where shadows linger, and my hope never fails. Do not measure your worth by the world's shifting standards. I have written an unshakable value over your life, one that cannot be revoked or diminished by failure. My dreams for you are deeper and higher than any human aspiration. Rest in me, trust my goodness, and allow me to rekindle vision for your future. Even now, new possibilities are sprouting in places you once called dead. I am the God who brings life from dust, possibility from impossibility, and joy from the ashes of grief. With every breath, I am near, weaving your story into a tapestry of hope and redemption. I have seen every unseen struggle that stirs within you. I know the thoughts you fear to speak, the desires you hide deep in your heart, the questions that whirl restlessly when you close your eyes at night. Nothing about you is invisible to me. Even when you feel overlooked by the world, even when your light seems to flicker in the winds of discouragement and doubt, my gaze rests gently and unshaken upon you. My attention is not distracted or divided. I watch over you with intensity as a shepherd over his beloved sheep, alert, devoted, longing for your safety and peace. Do not mistake unanswered prayers for neglect. Sometimes I hold back what you want in order to build something in you that is of far greater worth. There are fields within your heart where new strength and wisdom take root when you walk through valleys that seem endless. These are not wasted days. The ground of your life is not barren, no matter how quiet or pointless it may seem. Underneath the silence, I am working. My spirit stirs the seeds of hope that you thought would never grow again. I am weaving goodness that you cannot yet see, fitting every piece of your story together with compassion and purpose. If you would only let me into your quiet places, those rooms of fear and regret, I could fill them with the light of my understanding and the warmth of my grace. Some wounds I know run deep and take time to heal. You may pretend to be strong, but I see where you long for comfort, for reassurance, for a gentle hand to steady you. I am already beside you, offering the embrace you need. My gentleness has the power to calm your trembling and lift the burdens you have carried for so long. Give me your worries and your shame, your silent disappointments, every echo of pain that lingers in your soul. Let me breathe new hope into those forgotten places. When you wonder what your future holds, remember that I see the end from the beginning. Your tomorrow is not a mystery to me. Your tomorrow is not a mystery to me. The turns you dread, the obstacles you fear, none of them catch me by surprise. I am the author of possibility and restoration. Where you see a closed door, I can make a way. Where you see a wall, I can reveal a hidden gate. My wisdom does not fail, and my timing is perfect. Even when you cannot understand it, trust is formed in the waiting, in the surrender of your plans and preferences, in the willingness to believe that I am good even when life is hard. Each morning my mercies arrive fresh, tailor-made for what that day will hold. You do not have to muster strength from emptiness. You only need to open your heart and receive the daily grace I am pouring out for you. If you fall, I am not disappointed as others might be. Rather, I am quick to lift you, to steady you, to remind you that my love is not transactional. You do not earn my favor by never stumbling. You rest in it because I have called you my own. The journey I want for you is not about flawless performance, but about close, honest friendship with me. Invite me into your routines, your decisions, your frustrations, and your laughter. Nothing is too small or insignificant to bring to me. Even the mundane matters to the God who numbers the very hairs of your head. In your relationships where misunderstandings fester and hearts grow distant, I am calling you to be a peacemaker and a well of compassion. Let me soften your tone. Let my spirit of patience guide your words so that they heal instead of wound. The world will often encourage you to prove yourself, to build walls, to demand your way. Yet I invite you into a kingdom where humility is prized and sacrificial love brings true satisfaction. If you will trust me with the process, I can bring reconciliation where hurt has lived for too long. I can teach you how to love not just in easy moments, but when grace feels costly and forgiveness seems impossible. Remember, the measure of my love toward you was revealed in the giving of everything, not the withholding. I did not wait until you deserved compassion before I drenched you in it. Live that story. Let your life be an echo of my lavish mercy. When resentment whispers its familiar lies, bring them to me and watch as I melt their power with my truth. I have placed within you gifts you may not yet recognize. The way you listen, the way you encourage, the way your presence brings comfort. All these are seeds of my design. Do not compare yourself to others. My plans for you are unique, and every gift has meaning for the role I want you to play. If you feel overlooked or lesser, remember that I often choose the quiet and the humble to accomplish my most beautiful works. Stay willing. Stay open to my promptings. Sometimes I whisper a new idea or urge you to reach out to someone in need. Pay attention to these gentle nudges. They are invitations to step into the flow of my loving purposes. Do not wait for perfect confidence. I do not require flawless offerings, only a willing heart. I take what you surrender and multiply it in ways you cannot imagine. When you serve, serve as if you are offering every small act directly to me. That is where joy is born, and where you will find meaning no matter how hidden your efforts feel. When you are tempted by discouragement, when doubts rush in and whisper that you are not enough, pause and remember who I am. The one who called you is faithful. I am not impatient with your questions or threatened by your uncertainty. I meet you where you are, inviting you deeper, not with pressure, but with patience and the assurance that I finish what I begin. Let hope be your anchor. Let trust be the lens through which you see each challenge. I have overcome every darkness, and you are never left to fight alone. When you feel weak, my strength is made perfect. When you are at the end of yourself, that is where my new beginning unfolds. Keep walking, keep believing, not because you hold the answers, but because you are held by the answer himself. My child, I am nearer than your next breath. There is no distance I will not cross to reach you. No brokenness I cannot redeem. No disappointment I cannot transform into a doorway of greater hope. Stay with me on this path. For although the way may be steep at times, the destination is overflowing with goodness prepared just for you. There are moments in your life when you feel as if you are standing before a door, unsure of whether you should knock, wait, or turn away. You pause, perhaps out of fear, perhaps because the silence feels louder than any answer you could imagine. But I am there as your companion in that silence. the one who fashioned every door you face and knows which ones will open with a gentle push, which ones require patience, and which ones are not for you. Your uncertainty does not unsettle me, nor do I grow weary of your questions. With every restless beat of your heart, I am present, drawing you toward deeper trust. Like a loving gardener tending each fragile shoot, I see the growth that happens beneath the surface. Growth you may not notice while you stare anxiously at the stillness above. When I invite you into quiet, it is not an abandonment, but an opportunity for you to listen for the whisper beneath the rush, to attune your spirit to what I am planting within you. For faith is not born in the noise, but in the gentle assurance that I am always listening, always loving, always working for your good. If you have grown weary, feeling as though you bear the weight of hope with trembling hands, let me hold you steady. Your journey is sacred to me, every step marked by my care. Even when the path feels winding or steep, I do not delight in watching you stumble, nor am I distant when you lose your way. It brings me joy to walk beside you, to lift you up in your weakness, to cleanse your wounds and comfort your heart. Let my compassion be the resting place where your soul recovers from disappointment and your courage finds new strength. True peace is not merely the absence of trouble, but the confident presence of my love poured out over every battle you fight. When the storms threaten the fragile structures of your hope, know that I am the architect of your future, building with stones of mercy and beams of promise that can withstand any wind. Sometimes you measure your worth by your failures or your moments of fear, forgetting that I see you as a beloved creation, cherished always, never discarded. Nothing you do can increase or diminish my affection for you. I formed you with intention, carved your laughter and tears, your dreams and struggles, your longing to be seen and known. I call you by name, not just when you succeed, but also when you falter. My affirmation does not depend on your performance, for you are not hired labor, but my beloved child. When you feel you have disappointed me, let these words settle deeper. I desire your heart, not your perfection, your presence, not just your achievements. Let gratitude become your anchor, drawing your focus away from what you lack and opening your eyes to what I have already placed before you. Remember how the trees shed their leaves, trusting the cycle of seasons to clothe them anew. In the same way, trust that the changes you face are not signs of abandonment, but of preparation. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you make room for new growth, not for new blessings that would be crowded out by old anxieties and regrets. I am the one who gathers the remnants of your past and weaves them into the tapestry of your future. What you call broken, I call a beginning. What you surrender in tears, I receive with compassion, shaping it into strength more beautiful than you could ever imagine. Do not fear change, for my hands hold your story from the first word to the last. Let my voice quiet the noise of comparison that so often robs you of joy. Each life is a unique song crafted according to my purpose and delight. Do not measure yourself against the achievements or paths of others, for your journey is not meant to be a copy, but a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. I am at work in every detail. Even in what appears small or slow, your worth is not defined by applause or the opinions of the world. In me, you are enough, because I am enough. Rest in this assurance and let yourself breathe deeply of the freedom I have prepared for you. When tears come easily or sleep is scarce because your worries fill the night, Know that I am awake with you. I gather your tears. They matter to me. No pain or question is too small or obscure. You will never be ignored or brushed aside. When you cannot find the words to pray, let your silence become a sacred space in which I draw near. I speak peace over your anxieties and invite your soul to trust that I have already gone ahead preparing a place for you, making a way for tomorrow. I never grow tired of comforting you, nor am I ever out of reach. If you have wandered from the certainty you once felt, remember the path back to my heart is never closed. You do not need to present your case or earn my forgiveness. I have already built a bridge with my love, a way that is wider than your fears and stronger than your sin. Let your first step simply be a turning of your heart to me. I am waiting, arms open, not with scolding, but with celebration. Every return, no matter how frequent, delights me. There is no shame in beginning again, only joy that you are here with me. Let me remind you that hope is more than optimism. It is the confident expectation that I am who I say I am, and that I will do what I have promised. Even when the evidence seems thin and your faith flickers in the wind, I am steadfast. My promises are anchored in my character, which does not shift with time or circumstance. Hold on to the hope I offer, not because you have seen the outcome, but because you have come to know the depths of my love. When you feel surrounded by uncertainty, let my faithfulness become the ground under your feet. You are not meant to carry your burdens alone. I invite you day after day to pour out your heart, to lay your worries at my feet. I am not overwhelmed by the weight you bring. I welcome your honesty and your need. It is not weakness to admit your limits, it is wisdom. Let your trials become occasions for me to show myself strong on your behalf. Trust that I am already working, even now, in ways you cannot yet perceive. My timing may not match your own, but it is never late. Wait with expectation, for every season has its purpose, and I am present in each one. As you walk forward, allow my love to steady your hands, calm your mind, and strengthen your resolve to continue. You are never outside the reach of my grace, never too far for my help. In every moment, in every breath, I am with you, guiding, holding, sustaining. I do not abandon the work of my own hands. This is my promise to you now and always. There is a delicate art to discovering who you truly are when you are not rushing. When you exhale and dare to lay down every mask you have gathered in your journey, let me show you how to be exquisitely honest before me. Not as a judge, but as the one who loves the core of you, who sees the layers you hide from others and even from yourself. Picture for a moment that your soul is a garden, and every fear or pretense is a stone upon its soil. Some you placed out of protection, others grew from disappointment or misunderstanding. I know where each stone came from, and I feel with you the weight each one adds. But as you let me walk with you slowly, I invite you to let me help you remove them. Each time you trust me and surrender a small fear, a new patch of fertile earth appears, and living water begins to seep through. From my perspective, there is beauty everywhere in your garden, even in places you are tempted to hide. I linger with you in the places you consider ruined and bring sunlight that restores life where only shadows used to dwell. You do not need to be stronger, wiser, or more perfect before you come to me. I am not waiting for your arrival at some distant, imagined level of faith. I am here, present in every shaky breath and uncertain step. I am the whisperer in the stillness, calling you by your truest name, the one I gave you before the world told you to be anything other than my beloved. Let vulnerability become an act of courage, not a risk of shame. Imagine what would happen if you allowed yourself to drop your guard for a moment, not fearing rejection because my arms are always open. Your heart knows this is true, and I am patiently nurturing its trust. I have always seen you fully, the light, the flaws, the dreams you almost buried. I celebrate your smallest steps toward authenticity. I am not counting your mistakes. I am cherishing your willingness to walk with me through them, to let them be stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. As you walk this path, sometimes you will encounter resistance within yourself, a voice that says you aren't worthy, that you should hide. Hear me. Those lies do not originate with me. The truth is that every bruise and scar on your soul is precious to me, for they are signs that you have lived, loved, and struggled. They are not proof of your failure, but of your endurance. When you are tempted to cover up your brokenness, remember that I shape vessels not out of perfection, but out of humility and faith. In your imperfect openness, my glory is revealed, not because you shine like polished gold, but because my light is free to pour through the cracks. In those deepest places of your weakness, I do the sweetest and most profound work. I bind up, I rebuild, and I weave your story into a tapestry that will bless others. Trust that your history, even the chapters you wish to forget, holds a purpose that I can transform into testimony. Let us consider trust not as a demand, but as an invitation. There is a gentle progression to it, a growing ease as you learn that my love does not waver based on your performance. In the world, you may have learned that affection is earned, that acceptance is conditional. But those are not my ways. My love is the constant ocean upon which you can float when you are tired, the rock beneath your feet when every other ground round feels unstable. Bring me your doubts. I do not turn from the questions that keep you awake at night. I want to hear the words you are afraid to say, the dreams you barely dare to voice, the pains buried deep within. When you trust me with these, you are opening the gates for healing to begin. I am patient with your journey, delighted with every moment you let your true self come to me. For I remember the blueprint of your heart, and I am restoring it to its original beauty. Even in solitude, you are never truly alone. I am nearer than your breath, closer than your thoughts. I hear every silent sob, every whispered hope. There are angels sent to watch over your path, to strengthen you in hidden ways. Sometimes my answers seem slow or my presence feels distant, but never believe I have abandoned you. I walk with you in the dark valleys as surely as in the bright fields, guiding you when you see me and holding you when you cannot. My child, never underestimate the significance of walking in honesty and trust with me. It is not the grand gestures, but the small, sincere returns to me in worry, in joy, in questions that sculpt your heart into a sanctuary where my spirit dwells. There may be moments when the world demands that you prove yourself, to chase validation, or to impress others with spiritual success. I urge you to lay down those burdens and find your rest in my gaze, where you are already fully embraced. When you stumble and your own voice accuses you, bring your heart back to me. Let me rewrite the narrative, infuse you with peace, awaken you again to your worth, not based on what you achieve, but in who you are to me. When you listen in the quiet, you can hear me reminding you, I call you mine, and that will never change. As you allow your story to unfold in my presence, you might find me calling you to new steps towards freedom, reconciliation, acts of kindness, or forgiveness. If ever these steps seem daunting, do not let fear reign. Know that I equip you for what I invite you into, that I have walked out every possible scenario ahead of you and placed mercy and grace exactly where you will need them. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Your journey has significance not just for you, but for those whose lives are intertwined with yours. Through every decision to walk in honesty and trust, you become a conduit of my grace, carrying hope, healing, and truth to a weary world. Let my spirit whisper to you in the secret places. You are seen, you are known, you are cherished beyond your imagination. Even when you speak no words, I understand the language of your soul. Let this certainty deepen with each passing day. It is possible to live in this world unshaken, not because trouble never comes, but because your spirit is anchored in my love, a love that nothing can separate you from. I do not call you simply to survive, but to flourish from the inside out, bearing fruit that lasts, nourishing not only yourself, but all who encounter you. This is your inheritance, abiding intimacy with me, where true transformation begins, where the burdens crumble and the soul learns to soar. You have grown weary at times under the burden of waiting, questioning if my promises were meant for someone stronger, more worthy, more sure-footed than you. But every moment you have chosen to stay, every quiet decision to turn your gaze again toward me, has delighted my heart. You are not forgotten nor overlooked. My eyes are ever upon you, tracing the story of your life with tenderness that weaves even your weakest days into a tapestry of glory. When I ask you to trust, it is not blind obedience I require, but an honest surrender, one that dares to speak openly to me about your fears, your anger, your desperate hopes. I am not scandalized by the storm within your soul. I know every swirling thought, each ache you carry, and I welcome your true voice. Bring it all to me, every fragment, without filtering or shame, for I am the one who formed your heart, and I am the only one who can carry all its complexity and longing without growing tired. As you walk along roads that seem endless, at times dark and uncertain, hear the steady cadence of my assurance. I go with you, before you, behind you, within you. My presence is not measured by your feelings or spiritual highs. Even when you feel nothing but numbness, even when my voice seems distant or silent, I am near as breath. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the trust that brings your doubt into my light and lets me heal it. Stop measuring your worth by the strength of your confidence or the constancy of your zeal. Instead, see your value in the very fact that you are mine, and I have chosen to set my love upon you, unshakable and eternal. Every trial you endure, every loss and every delay is permitted not to break your spirit, but to uncover within you the hidden gold of perseverance and wisdom. In the crucible of adversity, I am refining your soul, shaping you to reflect more brightly the character of my Son. Do not reject hardship as a sign of my displeasure. Instead, bring your disappointment and grief to me. I grieve with you, and I do not withhold my comfort. I am your sanctuary, a safe refuge where you do not need to pretend. When the world expects perfection, I offer you rest. Lay down your anxious striving. Let me be your strength. My power is made perfect, not in your moments of acclaim, but in your moments of desperation and weakness. You may have believed that to please me, you must hide your flaws and always present a joyful face. But it is in your honesty, your unguarded prayers, your willingness to show me where you are hurting that I draw closest. My love is not fragile. It is not a reward for good behavior or flawless faith. It is a river that finds you in the desert, nourishing, restoring, shaping you layer upon layer over the years. I plant seeds in you during the long nights, seeds that will one day break into fruit where you least expect. Keep your heart soft. Do not let pain close you off to hope. I am the God who brings life out of barrenness, joy from mourning, beauty from ashes. Remember those moments you sense my nearness, even if they seemed fleeting. Recall how in your pain there was a peace that transcended your understanding, or a gentle whisper deep within urging you to stand, to hope, to hold on for one more day. These were not coincidences or tricks of the mind. This is my spirit bearing witness with yours that you are not alone. My voice will not always thunder or shake the earth. It is often in the stillness, in the mundane routines of your days, that I commune with you. Do not despise the ordinary, for I am the God who fills your common hours with meaning. You have wondered if you are missing the path, if you have made choices that have disqualified you from the fullness I intend. I assure you, I am a restorer of broken things, a redeemer of detours and delays. There is no failure so final that I cannot birth new beginnings from its wreckage. Where you see a closed door, I see an opportunity to build resilience and deeper trust. Where you have fallen, I offer my hand to lift you up. The enemy would have you believe that your story is too marred, your heart too divided for me to use, but I am not hindered by your limitations. In fact, I delight in displaying my strength in your surrendered places. Yield to me what you cannot fix, and watch as I bring resurrection to dreams that you thought were dead. I see your secret sacrifices, your acts of kindness unnoticed by everyone but me. The world measures greatness by applause, but I reward faithfulness even in hidden places. I am not hurried or pressured by the timeline of others. I am patient in my work within you, growing roots deep, so that when the wind comes, you stand firm. Trust my timing, for I write with a wisdom that spans eternity. Impatience and anxiety are not failures. They are signals pointing you back to me. Reminders to draw your strength from my consistent love rather than your own ability to control. Lay aside every comparison. The journey I have marked out for you is different by design. Celebrate others' victories, yes, but do not see them as evidence of your lack. I have treasures that are uniquely fashioned for you, gifts that no one else can receive or carry. When you are tempted to envy or despair, return to my promises over your life. You are significant not because of anything you achieve, but because I delight in you. Not a future version of you, but the one you are right now. Let my peace guard your heart and mind as you wait for answers. As you endure the slow unfolding of redemption, I will not waste your longing. I will not squander your tears. Every cry is heard, every hope is safe in my hands. The path to joy does not require the absence of sorrow, but an awareness that even in sorrow you are seen and loved with a perfect love. I have set eternity in your heart, and the ache you feel for more is a sign that you were made for communion with me. Press in, even if your steps are weak or faltering. I treasure each movement toward me, however small. You are held far more securely than you realize, enveloped in grace that will not let you go whatever the coming days may hold. There are times when you feel as though you're walking through a place of shadows and confusion, a season where clarity seems fleeting and direction feels scarce. If you listen closely, you will sense that I am present with you even in the fog. My love does not depend on your certainty. My guidance is not withdrawn in your wandering. You are not rejected for your questions or for the moments you cannot see the next step. I have seen the secret fears that linger behind your striving, the doubts that threaten your peace. Bring them to me. I do not flinch at honesty. I welcome it. For as your heart opens, trust grows. Come to me with your confusion, not only your confidence. The depth of our relationship is not diminished by your need for reassurance. You are not a burden. My delight in you is not conditional on your mastery or strength, but flows from the tenderness of my heart, which noticed you before you noticed me, which charted your journey before you set foot upon it. Through every shadowed valley and every sun-bright height, I want you to see that I am unchanging, consistent, steadfast, patient. My patience does not run dry. My mercies are not rationed. Like a river that never ceases, my goodness keeps streaming, inviting you to taste and see that I am wholly for you. Do not believe the voice that says you are lost beyond recovery, or that your mistakes have written you out of my story. Every time you raise your gaze from your failures toward my face, you find grace already waiting to receive you. Grace that lifts your chin and whispers, "You belong to me." I am the God who repairs the breaches, who mends what you thought was irreparably torn. No broken place in you is hidden from my touch, and nothing you reveal to me causes me to step back. Rather, I move closer, ready to gently restore what you surrender. In this journey, trust does not always mean answers. It means finding rest in my presence as I unfold what you need in due season. The way may not always be lit from horizon to horizon, but I place a lamp at your feet, enough illumination to take the next right step. I am teaching you to walk with me moment by moment, just as a child learns by placing one foot before the other, uncertain but secure in a parent's hand. You do not have to see the full landscape before you can move forward. It is enough to trust that I am guiding each step, that I see what you do not, and that my plans are woven with wisdom far beyond your understanding. I speak to your hidden aches, to the places you have tried to ignore or patch together on your own. There are wounds you have covered with busyness, disappointments you have filed away as just life. But I invite you to bring them out into the gentle light of my attention. Healing is not always sudden. Sometimes it is the slow, steady work of my spirit washing over you, softening hardened places and awakening hope. Allow me to tend your pain with my hands, to renew what has withered, to breathe life where stagnation has settled. As you let me in, I gently untangle the knots within, turning mourning into gladness drop by drop. You often imagine that faith is measured by outward signs, unbroken strength, visible fruit, an impressive story. But I see faith in the quiet lean of your heart, the silent choice to keep turning toward me. Even when you feel weak or uncertain, I treasure your efforts more than you know. It is not performance that draws me, but your willingness to let me be your anchor. When the ground trembles and the future seems uncertain, I am the one who holds you fast. Your identity is not shaped by external circumstances, by triumphs or failures. but by my unwavering affection. Let your soul rest secure in this truth. Your worth is established by who I am and how I have chosen you. If regret gnaws at you or shame threatens to suffocate hope, remember that I am not the voice of accusation. I call you by name, not by your past. The things you have done or failed to do not have the final word over your destiny. With me there is abundant pardon, and with every breath, new possibilities unfold. I specialize in new beginnings, in lifting weary heads, in restoring dreams thought dead. Bring your regrets, your disappointments, your unfinished stories, and lay them before me. I am the one who writes beauty out of brokenness, laughter from sorrow, joy from the ashes of what you thought was lost. You are seen by me, not just your polished self, but the whole of who you are. I see behind your defenses, your masks, the places where you long to be held but are afraid to appear needy. In my presence, all of you is welcome. There is nothing you need to hide. My love is not startled by your humanity. Instead, I cherish the honest moments, the vulnerability that lets me in. As you learn to trust me with your reality, not just your aspirations, you will find greater intimacy and a peace the world cannot offer. Embrace the gift of each present moment with me. For I am not only in your future or hidden behind distant hopes. I am here now inviting you to deeper awareness of my nearness. Notice how I whisper encouragement, how I orchestrate hope through unexpected kindness, how I breathe courage into your weary spirit through small reminders of my faithfulness. Let gratitude begin to awaken in your soul, not only for what I have done, but for who I am with you in every circumstance. As you practice noticing my goodness, your eyes will grow sharper, your awareness of my provision clearer, and your heart more anchored in trust. There is nothing insignificant about your journey, no part overlooked by my care. Every moment matters to me, not just the remarkable ones, but the ordinary steps, the hidden acts of love, the unnoticed choices to show kindness when no one is watching. I delight in your smallest gestures, in your daily faithfulness. The seeds of faithfulness you sow in quiet places will bear fruit in due time. For I am the one who multiplies the humble offerings of your heart. Never underestimate the ripple effect of a single act of hope or courage offered in my name. I see, I remember, I reward with the riches of my presence. You are never alone in the places where you feel most fragile. My spirit surrounds you like a shield, comforting, strengthening, and lifting you as you go. When you feel inadequate, I supply what is lacking. When your heart faints, I am your sustainer. You are stronger than you know, not because of your own might, but because my strength is made perfect in weakness. Rest in the knowledge that you are held, that I understand the language of your tears, and that each prayer whispered from your heart is precious to me. Let your heart remain open, for I am not finished with your story. There are chapters yet to be written, blessings yet to unfold, horizons yet to be discovered. Walk with me, expectant and unafraid, knowing that I delight in guiding you deeper into the fullness of life I have prepared. My plans for you are good, woven with hope and anchored in eternal love. Even when you cannot trace my hand, you can trust my heart toward you. Continue this journey, for I am with you always, drawing you near and leading you ever onward by my faithful love. You wonder at times if you are seen, if in the turning of the world and the unfolding of so many stories, your small place is known to me. Let me draw near. close enough that your heart feels the warmth of my presence. Like a gardener who cherishes each seed, watching the tiny changes each day brings. So I delight in your quiet growth, the subtle strengths unfolding in your soul. I see your perseverance when the work feels thankless, your restraint when words of bitterness almost slip past your lips, your faith when circumstances give little reason to hope. You labor in the fertile fields of faithfulness, and not a moment, not a sigh escapes my loving awareness. You may be walking through shadows, yet no darkness can hide you from my gaze. You may feel overshadowed by pain, but I have entered the deepest valleys before you, carrying light that cannot be snuffed out. When you tire, I do not judge you harshly. I extend my hand once more, guiding you gently forward. Think of the streams that carve quiet paths through stone, shaping even mountains, not with violence, but with persistence. Your consistency is such a stream, a testimony of grace, working quietly, steadily, overcoming obstacles that once seemed immovable. There's a melody in your spirit meant to swell in times of peace and ring out even in trial. Listen for it now, the song I have planted deep in you, a refrain that rises when fear attempts to silence your hope. I sing over you songs of deliverance, compassion, and purpose. Lean into this music, my child, especially when the world's noise seeks to drown out my voice. Your life is a symphony, each note custom fit to your story, each movement containing meaning, even when it pauses or softens to a whisper. Sometimes you wrestle with the weight of regret, feeling as though the years behind you have slipped through your fingers like sand. Do not let shame distort the path ahead. I am not a god of wasted seasons. What you see as ashes, I see as rich soil, ready for new things to grow. I take what has been lost, wait patiently for trust to be given, and then begin a renewal even stronger, more beautiful than before. The enemy would have you define your soul by your lowest moments. But I name you by love, and I name you by the destiny I whisper over you. My resurrection power works not just at the end of stories, but in the midst of brokenness, transforming what you mourn into something that will one day make you sing. In the secret places of your being, you long to know that you are truly loved, not just for your usefulness, your good conduct, or your words, but for your very existence. Rest in this truth. I did not create you out of necessity, but out of joy and desire for relationship. I have poured my love over you before you could ever try to earn it. When you feel the press of performance, when you fear that failure disqualifies you, remember that my grace is not merit-based. It is gift, lavish, and unearned. You can rest, you are invited to breathe. And in that rest, you will come to know me more deeply. Your burdens are not invisible to me. The ones you carry for others and the ones you keep secret, wrapped tightly out of fear or shame. I see them all. When the ache grows too heavy, call to me with the confidence of one who knows they are beloved. I am near to the brokenhearted. I mend what seems beyond repair. Every tear you shed is precious to me. Not one falls unnoticed, not one meaning lost. In these moments of vulnerability, you let me in, not only as your God, but as your comforter and friend. I delight to draw near, not to reprimand, but to hold, to heal, to bring the reassurance that only I can give. As you walk forward, do not measure your progress against others. I have set a path before you that is uniquely your own. No comparison can capture the fullness of your story. You are not behind, nor are you ahead. You are where I meet you in this moment with new mercy and sufficient grace for every step. Every journey I shape is different, for my love for you is deeply personal. Receive my affirmation now. You are on the way, and I delight in your willingness simply to move forward with me. If you feel weak, this is not cause for despair. My strength finds perfect expression in your weakness. Dependence is not a flaw. It is your design. Real strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to reach for my hand, to trust my heart when the outcome is hidden. Remember that I have chosen what is humble to shame the proud, what is small to topple the mighty, and through the faith of one who feels least, I can move mountains. Do not despise your limits. They are invitations for my power to work wonders through your surrender. Now, as you sit in the gentle presence of my spirit, lay down the harsh judgments you hold against yourself. Do not repeat old verdicts that I have already overturned. If I, the creator of you and all things, have chosen forgiveness, learn to see yourself through eyes of grace. Guilt and accusation may clamor, but I speak peace, redeeming not only your actions, but your self-perception. The more you trust my verdict of love, the more your life will reflect the freedom for which I purchased you. I call you to trust me, even when it is hard to see past the present troubles. My faithfulness is unshakable. I do not change with the seasons or the tides of the world. The promises I have spoken over you will not return void. Even when their fulfillment lingers, my word is alive, always working, always creating. Speak my promises aloud. Let them become anchors for your heart, and watch as hope rises stronger than every disappointment. There will be seasons when you seem to walk in circles, revisiting old battles or prayers yet unanswered. Take heart. I am at work in ways far beyond your sight. What feels like delay is not neglect but preparation, weaving together strands of grace, timing, and opportunity so that every part of your story fits in perfect harmony. Trust not only in my power to act, but in my wisdom to choose the best moment for every breakthrough. Even in your ordinary routines, I am present. Holiness is not reserved for mountaintop experiences, but is often found in the small repeated acts of love, pausing to listen, offering kindness, being faithful in the unnoticed duties of everyday life. Each moment lived in awareness of my presence becomes sacred. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Every ordinary act transformed into worship. Choose to invite me into these spaces and watch joy grow where once you expected only monotony. I am the God who sees. I am the God who remains. I rejoice over you with singing, and I invite you now to trust, release, and receive with an open heart. There are moments when you look back and wonder how far you have truly come, questioning if the unseen movements in your heart really matter. I want you to know that nothing escapes my notice. Every small yes and every quiet act of surrender resounds in the heavens and begins a ripple through your destiny. Do not compare your journey or pace with others, for I am not hurried, and I have not missed a single beat of your growth. When doubt tries to whisper that your progress is insignificant, remember that I measure things differently. The world may applaud the obvious, but I delight in the hidden roots that go deep, the perseverance that keeps showing up even when no one else sees. This is where your life is being transformed beneath the surface, where I am crafting endurance, strength, and compassion in you more precious than gold. Each time you choose to trust when answers are delayed, every time you extend kindness when your own heart aches, and when you lift a prayer instead of allowing irritation to rule, these are victories in my eyes. Let your spirit not be disheartened by the pace of your unfolding, for my timing is woven with wisdom and love toward you. Consider how a gardener tends the soil with patience, wading through seasons where nothing seems to grow, knowing that hidden beneath the earth, life is awakening. I see the intimate details of your inner transformation just as surely as I see the public steps you take in faith. Your willingness to continue even without visible reward is a testimony to the hope I have placed within you. Allow that hope to anchor you, holding fast when fear and frustration swirl around like a storm. Do not be ashamed of your failures or the moments when you falter, for these are not reasons for me to withdraw. Rather, they are invitations for me to draw nearer and show you the depth of my mercy. Refuse to let regret take residence and open your hands for the newness I am offering even now. When you imagine yourself as too broken, too slow, or too complicated to change, remember that I specialize in pouring life into what seems dry, raising beauty from ashes, and rewriting stories the world thought finished. The chapter you are living is not the extent of what I have planned. Sometimes you feel the heaviness of waiting, the ache for promises that appear far, and dreams that have faded at the edges. I promise you, I am not absent in the silence. In the space between longing and fulfillment, I am at work preparing you and your circumstances. The tension is not wasted, it is weaving resilience and tenderness into your soul. There are treasures found only in seasons of waiting, perspectives that will serve you and others for all your days. Resist the urge to hasten what I am unfolding. Trust me to perfect and complete what I have started in you. I take joy in your questions, in your honest cries, in your laughter and your sighs. There is room for every emotion in my presence. Bring your weariness and your wonder alike, for I am capable of holding both. Your vulnerability is never a liability here. On days when faith feels small, do not be afraid to ask me for the courage you need. I am neither offended by your doubts, nor disappointed by your need for reassurance. I would rather you come to me with trembling hope than stay distant behind a mask of certainty. My love for you is not contingent on unbroken confidence. I am the one who steadies your wavering, lifts your eyes, and renews your heart. I long for you to experience freedom from the suffocating pressure to perform or impress. My greatest desire is that you know you belong to me, and nothing can separate you from my love. I am the gentle shepherd, attentive to the sheep that stray, patient to restore, rejoicing when even one turns back. You are precious in my sight, cherished beyond all measure, and nothing you do or do not do can diminish the worth I have placed within you. Let me encourage you to keep opening your heart not just to the possibilities of improvement, but to genuine intimacy with me. I am not inviting you to strive harder, but to draw closer, to let down your guard, and let me speak tenderly to the places you keep hidden. There is no secret so dark, no wound so deep that my compassion cannot reach and heal. My delight is in walking with you day after day through the mundane and the miraculous alike. You do not have to achieve something extraordinary to capture my attention. You already have it simply because you are mine. In every ordinary moment, I see your courage, your longing, your effort. Rest in the assurance that your life brings me great joy. not because of perfection, but because of your willingness to let me love you as you are. You may feel pulled toward comparison, measuring your journey against those around you. Resist this temptation, for your story is uniquely shaped by my hand. The gifts, challenges, and timing I have given you are with purpose. Even when you cannot see the whole picture, what looks like delay or detour may be the very place I am protecting you or equipping you with what you will soon need. Let your heart be gentle with itself. Practice kindness toward your own weakness, just as you would extend grace to a friend. Be patient as you grow, trusting my process over your own expectations. In the quiet, I am whispering reassurance to your soul. You are seen, you are held, you are loved. As you move forward, bring your questions to me without hesitation. My wisdom is endless, and it delights me to share it with you. There is no request too small, no fear too trivial, no hope too large. I am not far removed or distant. I am as near as your next breath, attentive to every word, every tear, every smile. Invite me into each decision, each dream, each disappointment. Together, there is nothing we cannot face or overcome. The future is safely held in my hands, and every moment until then is a sacred opportunity to encounter my faithfulness anew. Do not be afraid of your humanity. I created you with needs so that you could know my sufficiency. When you are weak, I am strong. When you are uncertain, I am steady. When you are lonely, I am closer than you imagine. Let these truths become the ground beneath your steps, guiding you into deeper trust and fearless expectation for the days ahead. You have let my words settle into the gentle soil of your heart, and now you stand at the threshold of a new beginning. Even when you have doubted, struggled to believe, or questioned whether my promises could apply to you, I have never turned away from you. I have seen every tear, heard every quiet prayer, and followed every anxious thought. In your lightest joys and darkest valleys, my presence has been the silent strength holding you steady. Nothing about you escapes my notice. The smallest hopes, the lingering disappointments, the longing for freedom, the hunger to feel seen and cherished. All of this is safe with me. When fear whispers that you have wandered too far for my love to reach, remember my pursuit is tireless. No distance, no mistake, no lingering sense of unworthiness can keep me from drawing close to my beloved child. This nearness is more than a promise. It is the very core of who I am to you. Breathe in the certainty that you are not alone. Even in moments when you feel most isolated, when burdens seem too heavy to continue, I am the one who gives rest to your soul. I do not demand perfection before you receive my embrace. I invite you, as you are, to step a little closer. Bring your regrets, your weariness, the places you try to hide, and lay them before me. I cradle all of you, your gifts, your limitations, your deep questions, and I am not disappointed. I see the beauty you are becoming, the person I envisioned before your first heartbeat. The battles you fight in secret are not ignored in heaven. The victories you barely recognize are celebrated by me. I measure your worth differently than the world does. You are my treasure, chosen and loved long before you ever thought to seek me. In this unfolding journey, you may find the way ahead unclear. Sometimes you will wait, not knowing when the change you hope for will arrive. Trust that I am at work beneath the surface, guiding your steps, even when you cannot sense it. My timing is woven with wisdom and patient love. Delays are not denials. They are invitations to trust. to press deeper into my presence, to find your security in who I am. As you surrender your need for control and outcomes, you will discover a peace that endures, a confidence that grows roots even in uncertainty. I am teaching you to walk by faith, eyes fixed not only on answers, but on me, the faithful one. You may wonder if you have the strength for what lies ahead. Let me be clear. You do not walk this path by your own ability. I provide the courage, the hope, the steadfastness you require. My Spirit breathes new life into tired hearts and fresh vision into weary minds. I delight in your willingness to keep going, to choose love when bitterness tempts you, to extend grace when judgment seems easier. In the unseen moments when you feel invisible to others, know that you are seen fully by me. Every act of sacrifice, every quiet kindness, every brave step matters in the unfolding story I am telling through your life. Sometimes you carry old wounds that threaten to shape how you see yourself in the future. Bring those places to me. I am your healer and restorer. My love covers your scars, transforming what feels broken into a testimony of redemption. Do not be afraid to hope again. Where you feel weak, my strength will uphold you. Where you face temptation, my grace will empower you to overcome. Each day is an invitation to begin anew. My mercies are never exhausted. Let my words reshape your identity. You are not defined by failures or by the limitations others have placed upon you. You are defined by my love, crafted in wisdom, purposed for good. I call you my own. I invite you to walk in confidence, not self-made, but rooted in who I declare you to be. In the moments when doubt tries to undermine your faith, remember our history together, the times I've been faithful, the unseen ways I have intervened for your good. Gratitude will awaken hope. Hope will birth new vision. Stay teachable, open to correction, and ready to respond to my gentle whispers. There will be days you stumble, days discouragement presses hard, days when your questions have no easy answer. Do not let shame close your heart to me. My love is not fragile. It does not depend on your performance. I invite you to come quickly and honestly, trusting that forgiveness is always within reach, that restoration is my continual gift to you. Keep your heart humble and your hands unclenched from resentment or fear. Let my kindness disarm the defenses you have built around old hurts. Let me in. As you walk this journey forward, remember that your life is a light in dark places. Even when your influence seems small, the love you sow carries eternal weight. Trust me with the impact you cannot measure. Look for opportunities to serve, to listen gently, to speak peace where there is turmoil. I will open doors in unexpected places and grant favor for my purposes. You need not strive for approval or recognition. Your value is unshakable in me. Cultivating an intimate relationship with me is not a task to check off, but an invitation to daily communion. Learn to recognize the quiet nudges of my spirit, the moments of clarity that come as gentle thoughts or sudden courage. I teach you through beauty, through challenge, through silence, as well as song. Remain open to surprise. I delight in revealing myself to the expectant heart. There will always be more to discover about my love. Let your story be one marked by perseverance, humility, and wonder. Return to me when you feel depleted, and I will fill you up again and again. Receive my joy as your strength. My hope is your anchor. My goodness is your song. I am with you now, tomorrow, and always. Now rise. Stand where you are, take a breath, and step forward in faith. Do it now, Declare one small act of obedience for today. Now rise in the boldness of my love. Step forward in faith and let your life bear witness to the world-changing power of my presence with you. Amen.